Oh no, there's a problem. Okay, OBS needs to go over here. No, where is my OBS? Here we go. Sorry guys, give me a second. I'm just setting up the stream. This can be smaller. Okay. Right. This is going here, and then camera working here. Hello. Then webcam over here. Hello. And then so I've got this here, and then go to the live stream on YouTube. Then can I make this smaller? Yeah, this might be better. Please give me a moment. I don't need this. These can go over here. That can go over here. And then, hi guys, please give me a moment. I am just, as usual, I have like 50 windows open, so I need to prepare everything. Because I actually just finished my Japanese lesson like 15 minutes ago, so I'm a bit late, so I apologize. So please give me a moment. But how are you guys doing? Have you had a nice Saturday? Right now, as you can see, it's pretty sunny here in the UK. I think it's like 7 degrees, so it still feels really cold. So yeah. Anyway, okay. Hi, Michael. I'm good, thanks. How are you? How are you? I think it's quite late in China, right? It's plus 8-9 hours from the UK, so it's like what, 8:30, 9:30. So today we've got a lot of exciting activities for you today. We're gonna do a bit of free talk, questions, answers, and maybe some quiz games that I've been preparing. I'm very excited for the quiz games because it's very cool. Anyway, I'm gonna show you later. So, okay. You've got a special chair. I do indeed. I have what they call a gaming chair. It's I do play games, not so often nowadays, but to be honest, I think those my phone is not on silent. My teacher would get very mad at me. Yeah, this gaming chair, it's okay. It's not bad. But anyway, so I'm gonna my feet are freezing. I need to turn on the heater. Okay, I can get rid of that. And then it's working here. And then we will start in about 2-3 minutes. I'm just gonna check audio. Good. Video. Good. Sound. Because yesterday I had some problems with sound. There you go. Okay, maybe a bit too loud. And then Hello Talk, YouTube, materials. My mind went blank there. And then yes, okay. So I really hope that I don't get too many notifications. I think you can hear my phone going ding ding or whatever. I can't remember which app that sound is, but okay. Well, I think I'm pretty much ready. We already have quite a few people in the... I need to move these things. Okay, I'm going to move these over here. Sorry. Controls. if I show you my screen here, you can see I've got like so many different buttons. I'm recording, I'm streaming to 2 different places at the same time, Hello Talk and YouTube. So I need to see everything clearly. Okay, I think it's all good. Right, from your girlfriend, haha. Wait, what's from my girlfriend? There you go. Okay, so how are you guys doing? Yeah, it's the beginning of a new day for some of you. It's the evening for some of you. It's the afternoon, like here in the UK. I hope you had a very productive and, what was it? A very enjoyable weekend. I mean, it's only Saturday. It feels like Sunday to me, but anyway. What did you guys do? Did you do a bit of drinking on Friday nights? I know here in the UK, a lot of people go to the pub and drink quite a lot of beer on Friday nights. I'm not an alcohol person, so no thank you. But when I do drink alcohol, just 1 can of beer, whew, I'm gone. I get very sleepy when I'm drunk, so, and I get drunk very easily, so I'm a very boring person if you take me to go drinking. So that's why I didn't go out drinking very often, but anyway. Hi August, how's it going? You were sledding? What the heck? Oh, I guess, yeah, because in Russia there's a lot of snow everywhere. I want to say everywhere. My image of Russia is just, there's a lot of snow in it's such a huge country anyway, so. But yeah, I hope you had a nice time sledding. Sledding from a hill, very good, yeah. I remember sledding when I was younger, and I was one of those children who was always scared of everything. I was like, oh, but how am I gonna stop? I'm going too fast, I might hurt myself. Like, I wasn't a very adventurous child, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed your sledding adventure. Okay, so I wonder how many of our regular people are here today, because today we're going to do a really nice quiz and trivia game, okay? So if you've been joining my live streams recently, you know, we've done live streams on psychology, idioms, British culture, Valentine's Day, and movies. And yesterday we did ethics and moral dilemmas, right? So today we're going to do a trivia quiz to review the vocabulary, everything that we've done until now. So this will be a really good chance to remember those older words that we haven't talked about recently. And then after that, we'll talk a bit about moral dilemmas. Maybe the trolley problem, we'll do it together and I'll send you the link. And then finally, we'll do a bit of Q&A, free talk, okay? So, I think we're pretty much ready. Romantic and interesting. I think we can start the trivia quiz, okay? It's 5 minutes past. Let's begin. Now, I'm very excited to show you guys this because I found a really good website for doing quizzes, okay? So, I'm going to bring this up. Ba-bam. And you can see, oh, you can't see my screen. There we go. So this, I've got a lot of questions here related to everything we studied until now, okay? So I hope you can hear my audio. I'm going to play it right here. Oh, that was my phone. Sorry. So, are you ready to answer some questions? Let's have a look. There you go. I'm a big fan of pets and dogs, so I chose this, how do I say it, template. But anyway, we have a lot of different questions here, and I just realized I cannot see the controls, so give me a second. I will have to move a little bit. Okay, so, oh, can you hear the audio, guys? Yeah, you can hear. Thank you, Michael. So I'm going to shuffle these questions. Okay, these are all English-related questions, and we will answer these together. You guys are going to write the answers in the chat, okay? So, get ready to type your answers. The first one, let's do a random one. I know, this is kind of like for children, but I like it anyway. Anyway, what is the word for a bad dream? When we did Halloween, this is a very simple word. Alessia, you're too fast. Give others a chance. Oh my gosh. Very well done. Okay. If you want to do the questions by yourself, maybe try to avoid looking at the fast people in the chat, because some people are just too far. No, I'm joking. Really good job. Agatha, Alessia, Eri, Michael, well done, guys. The answer is... Oh, how do I press the button? Ah, that's it. There we go. A nightmare. Yeah. A common nightmare is like this dark corridor where somebody is chasing you. I think this is actually from a video game called Five Nights at Freddy's. If you play video games, you might have heard of this before. But anyway, that's question 1. Let's do another shuffle. Thank you very much. Okay, so what do we call the study of human brain and behavior? Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. Oh, neuroscience is a good idea. Neuroscience is the study of the brain specifically, okay? But I'm looking for brain and behavior, okay? So this one would be, oops, how do I press the button? Flip. Psychology. But neuroscience, I think Agatha, Alessia was pretty much spot on. Psychology is similar to neuroscience, but it's a bit more scientific, whereas psychology is kind of related to sociology, kind of like culture and things like that. So psychology is a very broad subject, but very good answer. Well done. Okay. All right. Let's move on. You can see sometimes the dogs or the cats in the background, they're moving, right? It's really cool. I love this website. Anyway, okay. Next question. So, what is the name of a fear of small spaces? If you remember in the Halloween lesson, we talked about different types of fears, but can anyone tell me the name of a fear of small spaces? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have, oops, oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. Claustrophobia. Yeah, be careful with the spelling. This is quite a difficult word to pronounce and spell. Claustrophobia. Yeah, the fear of small spaces. Does anyone here have claustrophobia? I'm looking at the wrong camera. Does anyone here have claustrophobia? I don't, but I can see why. I can understand why some people would feel very nervous with having claustrophobia, right? Like an elevator, a packed train. If you have claustrophobia, do not get on the rush hour train in Tokyo, or, well, any country really, but the Tokyo trains are especially packed. Have you seen those videos where people are like pushing people onto the trains and stuffing them in like a packed ham sandwich or something? It's terrible. But there you go. Only when you're staying in Hong Kong hotels. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Hong Kong is a very cramped place. It's not a big country, and like all of the apartments, if you know about the legend of the walled city of, is it Kowloon, I think it was? My mother's from Hong Kong, so I should know this, but anyway, yeah, interesting. August has claustrophobia. Yeah, your heart starts beating quickly, doesn't it? Yeah, good luck. But there you go. Take care indeed, Michael. Good words. All right, let's move on to the next question. What idiom do we use when we're talking about someone and they suddenly appear? Okay, so when we're talking about somebody and, for example, like, Eric is like such a horrible teacher and he's so boring, and then suddenly Eric I come through the door and I'm like, hey guys, and we might say, oh, we have some answers in the chat. EBS says speaking of. August says devil speak. You both have like parts of the idiom if you put them together. I'm gonna give you the answer. Let's have a look. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. Speak or speaking of the devil. Well done, Alessia, Eri. Speak of the devil, speaking of the devil. These are both okay, all right? I say it's very useful, but you only use it when you have that like really crazy timing, right? When somebody comes in. So, but anyway, okay, let's move on to the next one. So, I really need to get a new monitor back. Okay, next one. Oh, what is the name of a fear of heights? Okay, what is the name of a fear of heights? Any ideas? This one's a bit difficult because it's very similar to another word. Any ideas? Height phobia? That's a very good guess, August. Not quite. I'll give you a clue. It begins with A. Aphobia. Aphobia. One word. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is acrophobia. You see this man who's crying. He's like, get me down from here. Yeah. Acrophobia. Well done, Eddie. That was good. Good job. Mimi, aerophobia. That's a good word. Be careful. Aerophobia is the fear of flying, getting on an airplane. Yeah. Now, usually people who have acrophobia, fear of heights, also have aerophobia, fear of flying, but they are a little bit different, okay? If you think about this word, acro, meaning, well, from acrobat. An acrobat, you imagine a circus, yeah? They're usually standing on this, like, tight rope, and they have to balance, and if they fall, I don't know, they might get injured, but yeah, acrobat, acrophobia. The more you can connect. I forgot to turn on my phone. I forgot to turn my phone onto silent mode. I apologize, but yeah. So acrobat, acrophobia. The more you can connect words, that is like suffixes and prefixes, the faster and the easier it will be for you to learn new words. Yeah, because these parts of words are used many times. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone and it's making noises. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next question. All right. So, eliminate. No, it's this one. Random spinner. I like the sound effects. It makes it a bit more fun. What idiom means you should follow other countries' rules and customs when you are there? We talked about this in our psychology lecture. You should follow other countries' rules and customs when you are there. This is a bit of a long one. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody's got it. Mimi, good idea. Follow the Rome. Rome is correct. August, do as the Romans. Good. You're so close. When you in Rome do as... Oh, Chia was the closest so far. Well done, guys. You're very close. We would say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, okay? And you can see here the brackets, do as the Romans do, because this is a very long phrase. Like, we don't have time to say this whole idiom, so most of the time we just say, when in Rome, okay? Usually that's enough to understand, okay? So if you want to use this idiom, you can just say, Well, when in Rome. Okay, so there we go. All right. I saw a question about, Michael, what kind of program you're using. I will teach you later, after I finish this. I'll tell you about the program because it's quite good for review, for teaching. But yeah, I really like this because it's very easy to make these games. But anyway, right, let's move on. Thank you very much, guys. The reason why I keep moving up is because my main screen is blocking the bottom of my second screen, so I apologize. Anyway, next question. Right. This one was from the psychology lecture. What do we call a floating piece of ice in the sea? What do we call a floating piece of ice in the sea? If you remember the psychology lecture, we talked about conscious mind, you know, the things we know and the things we can think about, and then we have the unconscious mind. This was like a metaphor. We use this word. Very well done, August and EVS. We have the word iceberg. Yeah. So the top here was the conscious mind, and the bottom here was the unconscious mind. Yeah. The iceberg is a good metaphor for the mind. All right. Good job. All right. So, my leg. This is like a workout. I have to keep standing up and sitting down. Okay. Which or what idiom means to reveal a secret? What idiom means to reveal a secret? By the way, is the text okay? Is it too small to read? Is this better? Or, oops, is that better? Or is it okay? Do you want to see me? You don't need to see my face. It's not important. Anyway. Oh, spill the tea, August says. Actually, that is one way of saying it. Yeah, that's a very British way of saying it, actually. Spill the tea, yeah? Tell me the gossip or the news, yeah? This is okay? Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. August also says, open the Pandora's box. Chia, spill the tea. The answer, thank you very much. I think it was Nini. We would say spill the beans, okay? But as August mentioned, we also say spill the tea. That's a bit more modern, and a lot of people do use it, yeah? Tell me the news, yeah? Tell me the gossip. Spill the tea, spill the beans, okay? Good job. All right, next one. Oh. When talking about personality and psychology, what is the opposite of optimistic? Oh, people, you guys are way too quick. Oh my gosh. Very well done. The answer is pessimistic. Pessimistic, yeah. Pessimistic meaning you think negatively about the future, like, tomorrow's exam is not gonna go well. I studied a lot, but I don't think it's gonna go well. That's being pessimistic, okay? Optimistic is being positive, okay? All right, good job. And yeah, what was it? The spelling is very difficult, isn't it? Even I, as an English native speaker, I sometimes forget. Is it one S or two S's? I forget. But anyway, let's go back. Oops. All right. What idiom do we use when we want to give a quick, rough answer? Okay. So, for example, if somebody asks you, hey, how many hours have you been studying English in your life? And you might say, that's a difficult question. How many hours? Maybe, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000? What idiom do we use when we want to give like just a quick answer? This one's a bit more difficult. I do use this quite a lot. Not quite. I'm happy that you don't know some of these because it means it's useful. Review. Roundabout, not quite. Yeah, nice try. In a nutshell, not quite. In a nutshell is a good way of just saying, like, in summary, to put it simply, to kind of come to the end of a longer explanation. Good phrase. This one is actually, I'll give you a clue, it's related to your head. We would say, wait, if I press enter, no, there's no keyboard shortcut. We would say off the top of my head. Yeah, we did this in our idioms lecture here on Hello Talk and YouTube. So off the top of my head, maybe, I don't know, 6,000 hours or 5,000, I don't know, off the top of my head. Okay, all right, next one. We've done 50%. Ooh, we talked about this earlier. Can you remember? What is the name of a fear of flying? Flying. Not heights. Flying. Yeah. Anybody? Please give me the answer so I can stop waving my hands. Very well done. Good job, guys. Oh, we have so many people giving the right answers. Oh, well done. We call this aerophobia. Yeah, this guy going, oh my god, get me out of here. Yeah, aeroplane aerophobia. Yeah, that's a pretty easy way to remember this, okay? But remember, high places, you know, you go to the top floor of a skyscraper and you look down. Oh, I feel sick. This is acrophobia, okay? So be careful. All right. Next one. Oh, that's not the right one. If you're not sure if you agree or disagree, you are. We talked about this idiom yesterday in the moral dilemmas lesson. You're like, I kind of agree, but I also disagree. I can see. Oh, these are, you know, the star students who have been taking part in every lesson. Very well done. We would say, hui, on the fence. Yeah. This is not the best image. This guy is not having a fun time. But on the fence, it means you're in the middle. You're not sure. Agree, disagree. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, good stuff. Next one. Wait, was that a cat? What idiom means variety makes things interesting? What idiom means variety makes things interesting? Ooh, the more the merrier. Good idea, Chia. The more the merrier, not quite. More the merrier is usually like, we use it when like inviting people or like with parties. Like for example, let's say you are organizing a party and you invite me. And I say, oh, can I bring my friend? You might say, the more the merrier, meaning more people is better. Why am I getting so many notifications? I don't normally get these, sorry. Anyway, not the more the merrier. Good idea. Jack of all trades, that's a bit different. A jack of all trades is someone who is good at many things, or rather can do many things, but doesn't specialize, isn't very good at one thing. Yeah, they can do a bit of everything, but they're not very good at one thing. Okay. Versatility. Oh, I think Sune, very well done. We would say variety is the spice of life. Okay. Yeah, this is quite a good way of saying don't do the same thing. Doing different things is more fun. You know, variety is the spice of life. Okay, good job, Sune. Well done. All right, let's go back. How many questions did I make? What idiom means to avoid a main topic? Remember, it was the idioms lesson. When you have a boss, you say you want to quit, but of course you can't just start the conversation like this. So you go, how was your day? Yeah, so then you do lots of small talk. What are you doing? The screen is really small. That's okay. I will make it bigger when I show the question first. So thank you. The answer is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oi. To beat around the bush. Well done, Chia, Eddie, August. Well done. It is beat around the bush. Yeah. Depending on your country, some cultures beat around the bush a lot. Like in Asia, I think. Well, actually, maybe not all of Asia, but in the UK, we beat around the bush sometimes. Yeah. Good job. And then, next one. Oops. Okay. Oh, there we go. Good timing. So this is the opposite. What idiom means to skip the small talk and get to the main topic? What idiom means to skip the small talk and get to the main topic? Any ideas? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is cut to the chase. Well done, Alessia. Yes, we would have cut to the chase. And actually, August, very well done. We can say get to the point. Yeah. Let's say you're messaging somebody, you know they're a CEO, they're a very busy person, and you might say, I know you're busy, so I will just cut to the chase. I will get to the point. Can I ask blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Cut to the chase, get to the point. These are exactly the same, and they're both used very often. So thank you, August, for that alternative answer. Good job. All right. So I tried to type fast. I lost a word. Oh, Alessia, I'm going to have to minus 10 points for that. Oof. No, I'm joking. Anyway, let's have a look. What idiom do we use when we're very close to remembering something, but we can't? Yeah, I'm sure we've all experienced this before, right? You know, you study a new word and then later you have a chance to use that word and it comes up in your head and you're like, what's the word? Yeah, maybe even now because you're trying to remember a lot of vocabulary. What phrase do we use? We have some very impressive students here. Guys, well done. This is... It's on the tip of my tongue. Now, it's really interesting because depending on the culture, they will have similar phrases, but using maybe different parts of the body. Like in Japanese, I think, I might be wrong, they say, it's up to the throat. So, like, nodomade kuru, I think. I don't know if they use it a lot, but yeah, anyway. English, it's on the tip of my tongue, yeah? Meaning, I know this word, but I can't remember it right now, yeah? This is a great phrase you can use in many situations, right? I use this almost every day. I'm forgetting so many things these days. Oh my gosh. I'm getting old. Okay. What word means to feel bad because you've done something wrong, maybe evil, yeah? We talked about this yesterday in the moral dilemmas lesson. When you do something wrong, maybe you shout at your mother, you say something rude, or I don't know, you steal something and then you feel bad. What's the word for this? Deja vu? Ooh, good idea. Deja vu is word to show like I've experienced this before, but you can't remember when. Not quite. Good idea though. The answer here is to feel guilty. Yeah, we have two people who are, I don't know, trying to shoot each other. But to feel guilty. You can also say I feel bad for doing something. I feel guilty for, I don't know, shouting at my mother or something like that. Yeah. I feel guilty. I feel bad. Very useful phrase. Okay. All right. We have a few more questions. We're nearly finished. So many idioms. What idiom means something that looks bad at first, but later has a good result? I will be impressed if anybody knows this. It's quite a high level idiom. I just read Alessia's comment. I never feel guilty, so I don't know. Okay. Don't know? That's okay. Yeah. This is a relatively difficult idiom to use. I used it this morning. We were talking about like Skype. If you've heard the news, maybe a lot of you don't use Skype, but Skype is going to be cancelled. It's in May. It will disappear. So I was saying, oh, that's bad because I use Skype to teach my students one-on-one. But maybe in the future there will be a better software, more functions. So I said, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Yeah, blessing in disguise. In other words, it looks bad. You know, Skype being cancelled, it's going to disappear. I've been using it for a long time. But maybe in the future, there might be something good. In other words, a blessing. Yeah, so a blessing in disguise, okay? All right, good job. Okay, let's move on. What is another word for a strong fear? We already talked about this earlier today. Should be pretty easy. 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Guys, you gotta know this one. This one is a phobia. Very good. Well done. A phobia. Okay, and again, be careful with the spelling here. All right, let's move on. Oops. Ooh, what is the word, or what do you call changing your behavior to match others? We talked about this in the psychology lecture. When, you know, you don't want to stand out, you want to just fit in and be the same as everyone else, because, you know, it's embarrassing sometimes when everybody's looking at you. You're the only one who's different. Chameleon, that is an animal. And chameleon? It's a good guess. We wouldn't use it to describe this, but good idea, Alessia. Well done. Adjust. Good. I just realized I should say if it's a verb or a noun. This is a noun. Adjust sounds a bit more formal, like I need to adjust my seat, I need to change the settings. But specifically, this means to change your behavior to be the same as everyone else. Okay, compromises closer. Eddie, nice try. It does begin with C-O. We would say conformity. Yeah, or the verb is conform. Okay. Another useful word you could use is maybe peer pressure. This is when you feel that pressure to conform, you know, you don't want to stand out. We might say young teenagers often feel peer pressure. Yeah, they always conform to the group, for example. Okay, all right, good ideas. Next one, we only have a few left. We're almost finished. I think this is the last one. What idiom means very rarely? guys. 1 in a million? Ooh. I'm going to talk about these different phrases, but first of all, Chia said 1 in a million. I can see why you think that means very rarely. It's not quite, but that's a very good phrase. Thank you for mentioning that. 1 in a million we usually use to talk about a very special person or thing. Yeah, for example, if I want to be very arrogant, I might say, oof, I'm a 1 in a million teacher. Like, you cannot find anybody as good as me. I'm 1 in a million. Yeah. You shouldn't use it to talk about yourself, but it's a good way of like complimenting somebody. You might say, you are 1 in a million. Like, you're so special, you're so unique, in other words. Yeah. So good phrase. The answer is indeed once in a blue moon. I only exercise once in a blue moon. It's too much work. I don't want to work. I don't want to run. Who likes running? Oh my gosh. I only exercise once in a blue moon. Okay. But seldom. Good idea, Maha. You can say seldom. I seldom exercise, but it's very formal. I will say I've almost never used the word seldom. So most people would just say rarely, and then if you want to be fancy or level up your English, you can say do something once in a blue moon. Okay? Good job. All right, I think that is about it. Oops. There we go. Is there anything else? Can you guys see any questions? I think that's it. No, that's it. All right. So that is the trivia quiz done, and I'm just going to quickly introduce this website to you guys because all of this took me about maybe 20-30 minutes to make, which is actually like quite fast considering, you know, the pictures and all of the questions. Of course, it's not as like high quality as my normal presentation lessons, but it's great for these kinds of games. So let me quickly show you. This site is called Word Wall. Okay, Word Wall. I'll put it in the I'll put a link in the chat in YouTube and Hello Talk. One here and one here. Okay. This is great for review. Like if you're a teacher, especially like myself, this is a really good place to make quizzes and games and review vocabulary, right? If I show you the functions, you can even change the visual style. So for example, if you like detective stuff, you can do this. And it even has different music, it's got sound effects, and you know, it's all automatic, right? You know, maybe it's AI or something, but if I go like this, and then I flip, yeah, it's got that sound of the paper turning over. So it's all very unique, very easy to make. There are lots of different settings, different templates. You can do like, what else? What's another interesting one? You could do comics, which is quite a nice one. Holy moly. Boom, all this stuff, and it's very cool. Yeah, you can shuffle. The sound effects are quite similar to those very old school like Spider-Man like comics and things like that. It's very cool. And another great thing is that you can even change the activity. So we have, this one's a flip tiles activity. We also have the match up activity here. Okay, so for example, again, same template. So it's the same thing, but you just drag and drop, and I will send you a link to my quizzes so that you can review it by yourself, okay? So for example, what idiom do we use when we want to give a quick rough answer? Where is it? Off the top of my head. There are too many cards. Here we go. Bam. Yeah? And then if I want to check my answers, and then it will tell you if it's correct or not. Okay, and it even gives you a score, right, and the time. So if you're a very competitive person, again, I haven't shared this yet, so I don't know how it works, but I think when you complete it, it records your username, your time and score, and then any new person who does this quiz, it will kind of show you first, second, third, and so on. Okay, so it's quite a fun, way of doing this. Okay, so anyway, so that's a matchup one. The quiz one is not. It can be good, but if you do it automatically, for example, what's the opposite of optimistic? It's pretty easy to see which answers are not right. Yeah. So this one, I think, is not so great unless you make it yourself, which I will do in the future. The multiple choice ones are not so great. There's open the box. I think it's the same thing, it's just that it hides the questions. Oh, there you go, you open it and then it's multiple choice again. There's another one. If you want to do spelling, some of these words are actually really difficult to spell. If you're not confident with your spelling, I highly recommend this one. This is the anagrams one, okay? So the order of the letters are all mixed up. So opposite of optimistic, P-E-S-S-I-M-I-S-T-I-C. Okay, so this is really good if you're not confident with spelling. I think there's another one that's quite similar. Is it crossword quiz? No, I think that's it. Yeah. There's like flashcards. I think, is this the flashcard one? So you just choose a random card. And then can I flip it? Oh no. Shuffle, undo. No, okay, so this one's not so good for review, okay? But there's a spin the wheel one, which is really good, and you can do da-da-da-da. I will probably use this in the future. And then it takes you to a multiple choice, okay? So let me quickly, how do I share the link? Edit content, embed, is it this one? No, more, QR code. Okay, maybe if I copy this, can you try and access it in the chat? Yeah, does it work? If you click on it directly, let me click this. Oh, it looks like it does work. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So I will be updating this with new questions. As I said earlier, I actually did this very quickly just before today. Oh my gosh, too many windows. Give me a second, please. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, I made this quiz very quickly, so I haven't got all of the updated questions with like movies and stuff like that, but I will update it every week. And the great thing about this website is that it's free. It's completely free. The limit is that you can only make 3 quizzes, but I think you can do a lot with just 3 quizzes. But again, it's my first time using it, so I'm not sure exactly if there are any other, limits or problems. So, but for now, I really recommend this website. Okay. All right. So let's end that there. I'm just going to quickly read some of the comments. What was it? August knows this website. Great. Yeah. So I really like this website. It's amazing. Yeah. For people like us who want to make games, and because it just saves so much time. But there you go. Okay. Right. Now, let's move on to the next thing for today. As you know, yesterday I did a live stream on moral dilemmas, okay? And I gave you a link. Did I share the link with you? There was a trolley problem, which is quite interesting. So I'm going to quickly do the trolley problem with you guys, and I'll send you the link so you can try it yourself. But I will talk about my decisions, and let's have a look. So you can do this trolley problem yourself. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. we talked about moral dilemmas and values and all of these things, but for people who are new to today's stream, this is an experiment, okay? We use this experiment to kind of understand what is important to us, yeah? Is it, you know, humans are more important than animals? Is it more people are important than one person? Yeah, so this is called the trolley problem, and it's very interesting. So I'm just going to do the first one with you guys. If you want to do this yourself, you can click the link in the chat, okay? So I'm going to read this for you guys. Can I zoom in? Ah, that's much better. Wonderful. So, oh no, a trolley, this thing, is heading towards 5 people. You, this person here, can pull the lever to divert it to the other track. That is, you're going to change the direction, killing only one person instead. What do you do? Okay, so if you don't do anything, this trolley will go straight and kill 5 people. But if you pull the lever, it will save the 5 people but kill this one person instead. So what do you do? Nothing? And it kills 5 people? Or do you try to save them and you pull the lever? What would you guys do? Last of Us problem. Oh, is it quite similar to The Last of Us? Interesting. So what would you guys do? Would you pull the lever? I think most of us would probably try to pull the lever, right? 5 lives is more important than 1 life, right? So, splat. Goodbye. Yeah. So, I think, I can't see it, 73% of people agree with you. Yeah, most people would do that, right? So, oh, I can't see it. I need to get a new monitor. Oh no! Same situation, but instead of 1 person, it's 4 people this time. Joy Eagle says, call the police. You have no time to call the police. If you know, just make a phone call, hello, police, the trolley is not going to be like, oh, sorry, I'll wait. Like, you have no time. We will stop the train. How are you going to stop the train? Are you going to jump in front of it, try and stop it yourself? If you put a stone under the trolley, it will stop. You have to be very quick, and it has to be a very big stone, I feel. Anyway, guys, you can't find other solutions. It's A or B. You cannot cheat this experiment or game, okay? No, but I like your creative ideas. It's very good. Okay, right. I'm going to say it's more difficult, but I would still pull the lever. Splat. Okay, so this time 68% agree with you. This is 13,170,606 votes. Okay, so very good. Okay, next one. This time you have to sacrifice your life savings. Okay, so if you're a young teenager, you don't have much money, yeah, maybe it's an easy choice, but if you've been working for many years, you know, saving to buy that house, and suddenly all that money's gone, not so easy. What do you guys think? I will not take any responsibility. You'll just run away, Faye. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty scary situation, right? Morally, I would say I would pull the lever, but in real life, I don't know if I would have the courage. Right? Especially when you're panicking and you have to make the decision in like, what, 5 seconds, for example? Wow. Okay, 58% agree, yeah? So a little more than half. Okay. It's a difficult situation, isn't it? Oh no, trolley, you can pull the lever to save yourself. No, sorry. If you pull the lever, you sacrifice yourself. So you will say, I want to save the 5 people. This time you are pulling the lever, but you die. You sacrifice yourself. This is a good word. Are there any good people in this chat? Is there anybody who would sacrifice themselves? I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I would have the courage, so goodbye. I'm selfish, I'm a terrible person, I'm sorry. So I think it says 62%, most people. Well, it looks like most people are being very honest. I think most people would do this, yeah. This time, it's the original copy of the Mona Lisa. Disconnected. Uh-oh. Do I have a problem with my stream? No, it looks okay. Oh, okay, right. Sorry, there was an error on my PC. So, the original copy of the Mona Lisa, it's lagging. Okay, I will give it 1 minute. If the problems continue, please tell me. Maybe it's just a temporary problem. I would pull the lever, right? Easy choice. Art is not as important as 5 human lives. 74%. Interesting. Ooh, we have Nancy saying, save the picture. August says, let the picture be destroyed. Ooh, a bit controversial. Interesting. But, ooh, this one's another difficult one. A rich man says, I will give you $500,000 to save me and pull the lever. Okay, so what would you do? Would you guys take the money? Are you all very selfish, greedy people? I wouldn't. I wouldn't pull the lever just because I don't want to feel guilty about taking the money and killing someone else. Yeah. So for me, I wouldn't. No. I would feel so guilty. So only 45%. Most people would take them at. Holy moly. Wow, there's a lot of bad people in this world. By the way, this is a useful word here. Bribe. I know it's a bit small, sorry. Bribe. Okay. Bribe means to give somebody money to do something bad. Yeah. For example, a common situation might be a police officer stops you. You were going too fast on the road, you were driving too fast, and you broke the law. Instead of paying a penalty or a fine, you say to the police officer, hey, shh. You take out some money, you bribe, you give the money to the police officer and just say, it's a secret. And the police officer, they take the bribe, they accept the bribe, and they say, got it, have a nice day, and they go off. This is bribing and accepting a bribe, okay? Very good word if you like crime dramas and things like this, okay? All right, next question. Sorry, my throat is getting a bit... Okay, I can't see the screen. Okay, right. Ooh. Levels of sentience. Here we have 5 lobsters versus 1 cat. Let me ask you guys, how do I say it? Do different animals' lives have different levels of importance? For example, is a cat's life more important than a lobster's? Is a cow's life more important than something that we don't eat, like a lizard, for example? Is all animal life equal? Alessia's like, buy lobsters. She'll take the lobsters, put it in a pot, cook it, have it for dinner. Buy lobsters. And then August, save the cat, save the cat. Yeah, it feels kind of wrong, right? Because we have cats and dogs as pets, so of course we feel closer to them, we want to save them. You know, people spend hundreds of thousands of pounds, dollars on vet bills, that is medical treatment for their pets, right? It's not cheap. So, but lobsters and other, I don't know, insects and things like that, like, we don't care. Like, many people will just find a fly or an insect and just be like, see ya, get out of my house. Yeah. So, is all animal life the same? You don't even care about people. I care about people, but I care about some people more than others, but that's normal, right? Anyway, let's go back. So, trolley problem. I wish I could make this big. Actually, let me make this a bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit better. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to kill the lobsters. I will let them die, and I will have them for a very tasty dinner. Oh, 84%. There you go. That was a clear winner. 84% would eat the lobsters. I mean, kill the lobster. This is where, you know, where sometimes people's real thoughts or real desires, real wants come out. I didn't have breakfast, so maybe that's why. Anyway, ooh, okay. A trolley is heading towards 5 people who are sleeping and will not feel pain. You can pull the lever to kill someone who's wide awake. Yeah, fully awake. They will feel pain. So I want you to imagine now. Oops, wrong one. If the train, no, when the train hits the awake person, you're going to hear it. Yeah. You're going to hear the sound of the body going crunch, like scrunch. Yeah. And you're also going to hear them screaming. They're going to be like, ah! And then, bam, silence. That's going to be traumatic, right? That sound of the crunch and the smell and everything, all of your senses, you're going to remember that forever, right? But if you let the sleeping people get hit, no pain. It's almost like euthanasia. Yeah, they will die peacefully, quietly. They won't even know. What would you guys do? This one's a bit difficult. Any ideas? No comments? I would still try to save the 5 people. I would probably regret it later once I hear, you know, I'm traumatized from killing someone. But I want to still value 5 people's lives over 1. I don't know. There you go. What would you guys do? Do nothing? No, sorry. I want to pull the lever. Splat. It says here... Oh! Sorry. I didn't show the screen. So it says here 49% of people. Oh, so this is almost 50-50. Very close. Interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's difficult. So here it says, these 5 people, you see they're smiling. There are 5 people who tied themselves. They chose to tie themselves onto the track. Maybe they want to die, maybe. Yeah, maybe they're committing suicide. But the other person accidentally tripped. He was just like, boop, oops. I don't know why he's tied, but anyway. 5 people who choose to be on the tracks versus 1 person who didn't choose. Yeah, they don't want to die, in other words. This is a difficult one. Guys, can you help me? Any comments? Like, somebody give me some ideas. With no other information, I would try to do... I would pull the lever. Oof. Ooh, I see. Okay. So a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people would try to save the person. And I understand why. I want to say I don't know anything about them. So maybe, you know, they have depression, or maybe they're just gone a bit crazy. I like to believe that it's still possible to help them and, you know, help them find their meaning in life. But yeah, because 5 lives is a lot. If it were 2 versus 1, then maybe I would choose the 1. It would be easier. But 5 versus 1? Ew. That's a bit difficult. Okay, let's just do a few more and then we'll finish there. Where is the next one? This one, it speeds up the trolley, less painful. Less painful. Okay, I'm just gonna skip this one because it's faster. Are there any other interesting one? Okay, you see here, you can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your Amazon package will be late. Your delivery of your, you know, coffee beans will be late. What do? Oh, my delivery cannot be late. I don't care about this person. Get out of here. I need my coffee on time, okay? That person, get out of here. Of course, that's a joke. But yeah, that's just I think a funny one. Oh my gosh. All right, I think we'll do one more. Yeah. Oh gosh, your best friend versus 5 people. If you watched the video yesterday, this was the second situation in that the Good Place YouTube video. But if it were my best friend, oh, I can't decide. It's too difficult. I would probably, you know what would happen? I would probably freeze because it's such a difficult situation and my friend would die because I would freeze and I wouldn't be able to pull the lever. That's probably what would happen. So, wow. A lot of people would prefer to save their friend, which makes sense, right? If you've ever heard of something called nepotism, nepotism is the idea that we favor or we prefer to kind of give special treatment to friends and family, which makes sense, yeah? Especially when it comes to jobs, you know, hiring CEOs will often pull some strings and they will try to give good jobs to their family or like friends or people they know, right? This is called nepotism, okay? But anyway, yeah, that one's difficult. 5 people, interesting. Save the best friend. Yeah, August, I think your best friend would be very happy. Hopefully my best friend is not watching this live stream. Otherwise, I might get an angry message. I think there are a few more. Oh, this one's quite interesting. You can pull the lever, killing 1 person instead. At least that's what you think is happening. You forgot your glasses and you can't see that well. What do? What? So, in other words, you forgot your glasses and you can't see that well. So, if you pull the lever, you think you are killing 1 person. Huh? Well, do you have another choice? No, I guess I'll just pull the lever, right? What happened? Oh, 55%? Okay. Did I kill something else? I'm not sure. Anyway, okay. I don't wear glasses, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Cousins. Yeah. So, you have 1 first cousin. This is your auntie's daughter or your uncle's son or something like that. And then you have your second cousins who are your auntie's sister's daughter. In other words, they are less related to you, okay? But there are 3 people here versus 1 person here. So in other words, what's more important? The number of lives or the closeness or how closely related they are to you? Guys, help me. I but I like my cousins. We played card games the other day. Ugh. Yeah. There we go. Goodbye, cousin. Oh my. Maybe I should delete the recording of this video. Yeah. So this is quite a common topic, but like, where does family end? There's a very interesting debate or discussion where often, if you imagine your parents, for example, you know, your uncles are coming to visit, or your auntie or your cousins are coming to visit your house, and they say, Eric, clean up your room, or come downstairs, talk to your cousins, yeah? They're your family. You need to, you know, talk to them and be friends. And this is the key point. They're your family, so you should. You have to. Right? Yes. We're connected by blood. But I didn't choose this. Yeah? I didn't want them to be my cousins. Now, of course, sometimes your cousins and family members, your brothers, anybody in your family might be good. You might get along. They might be good people. But on the flip side, they might not. Yeah. And there's a big dilemma, especially when it comes to respect in like Asian cultures. Let's say your family, your aunties or uncles are very strict. They're horrible to you, and they always ask you rude questions like, when are you getting married? Or like, oof, you got a lot of weight recently. And like, they're just really rude to you. And then your family, your parents still say, it's okay, they're just, you know, they don't mean to be a bit rude, but they're family, so you have to be polite. It's tradition to respect your elders and be polite to family, but I don't like that tradition, because if they're a bad person, I don't think you should have any responsibility or obligation to be nice to them. I think you should choose your friends and the people that you spend a lot of time with, right? It's just better for your mental health as well, right? And if you choose to be with someone and they're not a good person, that's your fault. That's your responsibility. But you learn, and you can choose to cut off that relationship, right? But family ties, blood relationships, I think they can be a big pain in the neck. So there we go. I don't know. What do you guys think? But oh my God, August is worried. I'm a serial killer. Dilemma choices. Yes, that is the topic today. Anyway, let's go back to the questions. Right. Where's my mouse? Okay. This is another difficult one. I talked about this yesterday, but 5 old people versus a baby. What do you do? So what's more important? A baby who still has maybe a long life to live, maybe 70, 80 years to go, or old people who are close to the end of their life? In this case, I would choose the baby, because just based on like statistics, a lot of old people suffer from dementia, terminal illnesses, bone problems. They don't have any energy. They can't enjoy life. They can't travel because it's too difficult for their body. I would choose the old people. What do other people? Oh, 77%. Okay, most people agree. Yeah. You often see in like zombie movies where it's always like a moral dilemma, like, oh, do we give the vaccine, the medicine to the young child, the pregnant woman, or the, I don't know, the fighter who can protect us from like zombies or something like that. You often see these moral dilemmas in many pieces of fiction and dramas and things like that. But there we go. Okay, right. I think, how many are there? Okay, we'll just skip through. I just want to see how many there are. There are quite a lot. 10%, 10% chance of killing 10 people, 50% chance of killing 2 people. Okay, so if it doesn't kill 2 people, how many people does it kill? Okay, I don't understand this one. But anyway, yeah, so we'll end it there. That was the trolley problem. Okay. Now, there's actually a very interesting variation of this one, and this is called the moral machine. Again, if you want to try doing this, I'll send you the link here. But this is basically the same thing. It's just in a different, like, how do I say it, format. Can I start judging? There we go, better. So this one is about self-driving cars, and it's the same thing. Remember yesterday we were talking about moral dilemmas and we were talking about programming, yeah? Should the self-driving car, protect you, the passenger, or should it protect the other people around you, yeah? Here we have another classic dilemma. What's more important, a dog's life or a baby's life, yeah? I think most people would probably choose the baby because generally humans feel closer to other humans. In this case, the self-driving car will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing. This is the white part here, and this will kill 1 baby. Okay, so I think most people would choose this one. Okay. So then you do 13 choices. Let's just pick randomly, blah, blah, blah. Crash and kill 3 people in the car, or crash and kill 3 people on the crossing, blah, blah, blah. I think it's like men and women, old versus young, and all of this stuff. And then at the end, it will give you some data. It will tell you the person you save the most, so it looks like some businessman. This one, it looks like a homeless person maybe, yeah? So it tells you, do you value saving more lives or less? It doesn't matter. Do you worry about protecting passengers or not, yeah? Following the law, yeah? Do you prefer to save people who are following the law, green light? Or if people break the law, are you less likely to save them? Avoiding intervention. This is doing nothing versus making a choice. Yeah, because making a choice is more difficult than doing nothing. And in psychology, we call this the bystander effect. This is if there are more people when there is an emergency, like imagine somebody at the train station collapses. If there are 20 people and you are one of those 20 people, you're less likely to help. Because, 1, there's something called diffusion of responsibility, meaning the responsibility feels like it's shared. If you don't do anything, nobody can say like, hey, why didn't you do anything? You'll just say, you didn't do anything. The other 18 people didn't do anything. This is what we call the sharing of responsibility. And this is why the more people there are, the less likely people are to help, right? But if it's just you and another person, if you don't help, well, who's going to help? Okay, there might be one person, but one person needs to do CPR. Another person needs to call the ambulance. So, you feel more pressure and responsibility to help. So, anyway, that was off topic, but yeah. So, what was it? Doing nothing versus taking action. Yeah, most people generally prefer to do nothing because it's easier. Gender preference, male versus female. When I chose randomly, apparently I always chose females by chance. Species, pets versus humans. Age preference, young versus old. Okay. Fitness preference, interesting. So healthy people versus unhealthy people. And then social status, yeah. people who are very useful, as in like they work in the health industry, hospitals, nurses, doctors, businessmen, versus people who do not help society, criminals, yeah, people who stay at home and don't do anything all day, these kinds of things. Okay, so if you're interested in finding out your values, you can try this in the link in the Hello Talk and YouTube description. Okay, I won't do this, but there's one more version of this. This is about charity, like giving money. Are you more likely to help poor people or people in developed countries and things like that? It's the same thing, but it's just a different version. Okay, so we have the trolley problem, the self-driving car problem, and the charity problem, but they're all very similar. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you today. But yeah, what do you guys think? I really like to have these kinds of deep discussions about morals because, well, I studied psychology in university, and I always found it interesting how different cultures, men versus women, old versus young, we have slightly different values, we think in different ways, and I don't know, I was just always curious, why? Why do we think like this? Why do we have biases? Why are humans so negative all the time? Why do we focus on small things and stuff like that? Very fascinating. Anyway, sorry, let me read the comments. I've been ignoring the comments a lot. So, what was it? Squid Game is also... Squid Game is a good... what was it? Moral dilemma kind of drama. Yeah, good idea, August. Well done. I've watched season 1 and 2. I will not spoil anything, but I preferred the first season. I'm more interested in the death games. I really like these like puzzles and things like that. And I wonder, what would I do? Yeah. But these death game dramas, Squid Game is the most famous. If you like Japanese dramas, Alice in Borderland is another one similar on Netflix. Personally, I'm a fan of the Alice in Borderland one, but I know Squid Game is more famous and popular. But I'm biased because I'm studying Japanese. But there we go. Actually, this is a society phenomenon. For example, on hospitals, if no money every day have died, no helping. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Joy Eagle. You might have to rewrite that. I'm not sure what you mean. But yeah, if you have no money, you can't help anyone, right? It's kind of the situation where we like to be good people. We like to be kind. We like to be selfless. When we watch these superhero movies and any drama, often the message of being good, helping others, it's usually a very strong message in a lot of stories, right? It's very rare to see a story where the main message is be selfish, don't care about other people, right? But at the same time, sometimes you have people who are so selfless, they sacrifice so much to help other people, that actually their physical health, their financial stability, their money, they sacrifice too much. And especially when it's your friend, or sometimes yourself, you think, like, for example, you see a homeless person on the street. You feel really guilty, so you keep donating money. And every time you see a homeless person, you keep donating because you want to be a good person. But then you realize you don't have enough money yourself. The feeling of wanting to be a good person is sometimes stronger than our selfish desire to buy nice things and, you know, treat ourselves, okay? So you do need a balance, and I think the important message is you have to take care of yourself before you take care of others, right? And this is something I say to a lot of my friends. and sometimes I hear it from my friends. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anyone, you know, in terms of money, time, effort, and all of these things. So it's hard to be selfish sometimes, but you do need to prioritize yourself sometimes. There you go. What do you guys think? Any ideas? Most of doctors are angels, but no one saves them. Okay, interesting. Yeah, there are a lot of people who work in the healthcare industry. I know during the COVID pandemic, people working on the front lines in the hospitals, nurses, doctors, even just the receptionists, you know, they're putting their lives in danger to help everyone. They're amazing, right? They're trying to help people even before the pandemic, especially during the pandemic, and even after. And the funny thing is, in the UK, during the pandemic, there was, I think it was America as well, actually, maybe all over the world, but there were viral videos of people, like, when the hospital staff, like, get off work, when they leave the hospital, there was a crowd of people outside waiting. They were like, round of applause to show their appreciation, because they had to work overtime during the pandemic, like crazy hours. But after the pandemic, gone. Like, no one claps. It's just exactly the same as before, right? And I know that healthcare is not the best in a lot of countries. For example, in the UK, there are super long wait times. Like, if I want to just have a normal checkup, I make an appointment for 6 p.m. I get there, they're always like 10-15 minutes late. Yeah, this is not just me, there's just not enough staff. The doctors are overworked, there's just not enough time. Okay? And then a lot of people, why are you late? I got here 10 minutes early and you're always 15 minutes late. They get really angry, okay? And they're shouting at the receptionist, the front staff, and it's not their fault. The receptionist is just, you know, answering the phones, taking reservations and things like that. So I don't understand why people get so angry when it's not that person's fault. And it's not even the doctor's fault sometimes. Maybe other people were late to their appointment. So then it makes everyone else late. Like, we don't really know what's happening on the flip side. Behind the scenes. So, anyway, I don't think healthcare staff are treated with enough patience and kindness. But I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. It's difficult, isn't it? But anyway, so we have a lot of people watching now. 67, holy moly. But yeah. Moral dilemmas, cultural values, all of this stuff. It's really fascinating stuff. But anyway, let us move on to the next thing. I prepared the quiz and the trolley problems, but now that that's finished, I'm just going to open it up to a free talk question and answer session. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about today, maybe some of the vocabulary words we looked at earlier today, for example, here we go. Yeah, the things with, oh my gosh, the comic thing, yeah, any of these words we talked about, yeah. Or maybe you have a question about me, myself, what do I do, English questions, questions, my mind is going blank. Any question, please feel free to ask, okay? So, let's see. People gather together because of this sense of insecurity. Yeah, a lot of people do gather together, Judy. I think there's safety in numbers. We always feel more secure when we're the same or with everybody else, and this is why we often conform, right? One of those key words in the quiz, we conform because standing out is scary and being different is embarrassing, right? in Japanese, they have this special phrase called deru kui ga utareru, which means the nail that sticks out will be hit down. Yeah. So this is more to do with like authority and kind of like the peer pressure to conform. But yeah, it's an unfortunate, what do you call it, phenomenon, because it's better to have many different opinions, right? If we want to solve world problems and difficult dilemmas, it's better to have a wide range of opinions, even if some of them, you know, are not 100% correct, than just having everybody saying, yep, I agree, yep, I'm the same, yep. And this is when you have these situations, especially in companies in the higher board of executives, where hierarchy is very important. Because of the status, because of the kind of nepotism and the connections between people, a lot of people will hide their real opinions and just say, yep, I agree with the CEO. Well, that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Yeah. Just so that they can get that favor. Yeah. So that the CEO will think, oh, he's a good guy. Yeah, maybe, you know, in the future, I'll give that guy a promotion. Yeah. A lot of people just copy others and they don't show their real opinion. And it's a lot to do with just human psychology and the situation, right? But yeah, it's not good. Not good. But there's a good phrase that you can use in any situation, and I like to do this in my classes sometimes. When there's a difficult topic, for example, let's say, should we ban guns? Should we ban guns? Should we remove guns from every country? My personal opinion is yes, we should. I know in reality it's not so easy, because if we could just ban guns, then America would have already just removed all guns, but it's not so easy. But hypothetically, I believe that we should ban guns if it's possible. However, if everybody, I think this is a popular opinion, guns are bad, they're not safe. But again, if everybody agrees, let's say in my class of 5 people, there's not so much to talk about because everyone has the same opinion. This is when I will choose a student to play devil's advocate. And I'm going to write this, play devil's advocate, which means, sorry, I have to write on YouTube as well, play devil's advocate, which means to take the opposite position or the opposite opinion on purpose. Okay? This is not your real opinion, but you're arguing the opposite side, so in order to explore or understand the issue on a deeper level, right? Because even if you're just pretending, just by bringing up a counterpoint, that can be useful, right? And this is why I think debates are a really good way of expanding your worldview. Many people don't like debates because debates often become arguments, because there are a lot of people who think they're so smart and they're like, I'm right, and if I'm not right, I'm embarrassed because people think I'm stupid. Like, their pride gets in the way. They prioritize looking smart or being right over the truth, because it can be embarrassing to say, oh, you're right, like, yeah, actually I'm completely wrong. It's very difficult sometimes to admit that you're wrong, but I think it depends on the type of person you are. If you're the type of person who gets really angry and is very stubborn and you're like, no, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Okay, did you listen to me? So I said blah, blah, blah. the angrier you get, the more difficult it becomes to accept that you're wrong. But if from the very beginning, and this is the type of person I am, I start very neutral. I'm on the fence often. And I will be like, and this is a good speaking point, this is a good tip if you want to have these deeper discussions. Using words like, I believe, or I might be wrong, but, and so on. Actually, I should write these down because it might be quite useful. Give me one moment, please. Okay, right. Is it this one? And share screen. Here we go. I'm gonna go down here. So, when you're debating or talking about a difficult issue, a good way to avoid arguments and to kind of stay neutral is saying things like, I might be wrong, but I'm not an expert, but yeah, and any variation of this, I could be wrong. Oh, sorry, that's the same. I believe that something. Yeah, these are all great ways to level up your answer. You know, 2 birds, 1 stone. It's a nice advanced way of sharing your opinion, and it's also a very neutral way of starting a debate. Because, you know, the reason why so many people argue, and sometimes they argue even when they agree, but they just don't like the way they're communicating, it's the way you say things. When I say the way you say things, I'm talking about tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, and your word choice, right? So for example, let's say tone of voice. I might be wrong, but yeah, that was a bit of like facial expression. You saw me go, might be wrong, but probably not. Sounds quite arrogant, right? But if you say something like, I might be wrong, but, and again, it depends on your personality as well, right? If you're generally a very calm, sociable, a kind person, then people generally will be more patient. They will listen to you more without getting angry, right? But if you're generally quite an arrogant person, even if your tone of voice is normal and things, if people don't like you, they're just gonna not like, they won't like the things you say, even if you kind of agree, right? But anyway, slightly off topic. So I might be wrong, I'm not an expert, I believe that. These are good ways to kind of start a debate in a polite way. Okay? All right. What if the truth is unreachable? Stassi, that was a very deep question. Personally, I think a lot of truths are reachable. And if they aren't, it's because we're not talking about them enough, right? Like, for example, I'll be honest, I don't like talking about controversial topics with my family because they have strong opinions on things, and it's not very easy to change their minds. Myself, I do have strong opinions on things like language learning, good ways and bad ways of studying, gender equality and things like that. But maybe it's because of university, but when I studied psychology, we look at data and we think about how reliable is this data? Can we really trust this data? It's a lot of critical thinking. And I talked about this yesterday, but critical thinking is one of the most important things nowadays, especially because misinformation is everywhere. Social media, often you'll find, like, I don't know, a viral video saying 10 things you shouldn't do in Japan, and from a foreigner, and then you'll find in the comments Japanese people saying, what? What are you talking about? Right? And of course, this is not always the person who makes the video doesn't always do it on purpose. Yeah, it's not like saying that they're trying to give you false information. Sometimes it's just a mistake. But the problem with social media and the internet, and especially AI nowadays, is that it's very easy for information to be wrong, or maybe you need more context, right? For example, if you look at Google search, apologies, people in China, maybe you can't use Google, but DeepSeek, ChatGPT, AI, again, I'm not an expert, but, oh, there we go. Yeah, use this phrase. I'm not an expert, but, sorry. So I'm not an expert with AI, but I believe that it takes data from the most common or popular search results, like the top ones, and then it will kind of, like, how do I say it, gather the most common or popular pieces of advice, right? For example, if you say, like, I have a cold, type. What is the best way to recover from a cold? And then it will just get this information from the most popular articles. However, life is not always so simple. It's not always black or white, especially when it comes to health. You might have a cold, but also you might have other symptoms. Maybe you have a special disease. For example, I have asthma. And sometimes my cold can make my asthma worse. Yeah, I have trouble breathing. But the AI cannot know your personal information. And yeah, maybe if we give our personal history, if we give the AI, you know, our age, our gender, our, you know, all of the diseases we have, then it could probably give us a much better answer. But then you're opening up a whole nother can of worms. You're opening up more problems, because I don't know about you guys, but giving personal information to AI, no thank you. I mean, do I have anything to hide? I don't really think I have anything special to hide, but it feels wrong, right? It feels like, it's like that classic example. You're talking to your friend about wanting a new guitar, yeah? And then you look on your news feed on your phone, and then the first article is 50% off new guitars, and you're like, what the heck? Was my phone listening to me? But anyway, I've been talking a long time. Sorry. I talked about a cold. Suddenly, now, I have a slightly runny nose. But anyway. So, yeah. I think it's, By the way, is the stuff I'm talking about really boring? Because nobody's writing any comments, and maybe it's because you're listening, but I'm worried that if there are no comments, it means I'm really boring. So please do tell me if I'm boring. But a quick question from Judy. Oh, thank you, Anand. Is being outstanding also means being isolated? Good question, Judy. Well, first of all, outstanding means to be better, higher quality. It's a very good word, another word for excellent, right? Oh, for example, Judy's English is outstanding. It's excellent. Yeah. Now, often, being better than other people, it can isolate you. But I think it depends on a lot of things. Again, it's not black or white. If you're the type of person who's a perfectionist, you always try to be perfect, you do everything 120% effort, then that can be good. You will get a lot of good results, and, you know, maybe you'll get lots of promotions. Companies will love you because you're always doing overtime. But then you don't have time for hobbies, or like you don't have time to talk to other people, right? Trying to be outstanding means that you have to sacrifice a lot. That means social connections, hanging out with friends after work, on the weekends. It can be hobbies. We need hobbies, and hobbies are a good way to connect with other people, yeah? It's very easy to get along with somebody if you have something in common, like a hobby or something like that. So yeah, I would say that trying to be outstanding can isolate you. It means you might be alone because you can't connect with other people. However, if we look at athletes, actors, famous people who have a good reputation, famous people are often outstanding. They are excellent. They are very good at what they do because they have a special skill, acting, business, or something like that. Athletes. And a lot of people look up to them as role models, right? We look up to them. So what's the difference between somebody who becomes isolated because they're so outstanding and a role model who's outstanding but somebody we respect and want to talk to? I was hoping I would find the answer while I was speaking slowly, and this is a funny technique, but if you're taking an English speaking exam, and just a piece of advice, it's not always good to speak super fluently. There are a lot of people who will try to speak like a native speaker, and that means speaking quickly, just speaking naturally and, at your normal speed, but this is not always good. And actually, if you are interested in public speaking and, want to give better presentations and you worry about your impression, your first impression, when speaking, well, any language, really. Personally, I believe that speaking at a medium, steady speed is better than speaking quickly. Well, actually, it's better to have a variety because humans are naturally attracted to variety. Variety is the spice of life, again, another idiom. Because we all get bored. Everything new in life stops being new at some point. New often equals exciting, right? The first time you go to a new country, the first time you start living in a new country. And we often call this the honeymoon period. Honeymoon is a trip that you go on with your new wife or husband. Yeah, it happens just after you get married when everything is new and exciting. But after that, not just marriage, but life, anything, will get boring once you get used to the normal routine. So, going back to speaking, variety is the spice of life. When you want to make more impact, you might slow down and give more emphasis to your words, right? But if you want to get more time to think, often, especially in the higher level ACAN or IELTS exams, English exams, they will ask you a difficult question, and you will have 1 minute to maybe choose one question from 5, like all very difficult questions, like what do you think there is a lot of corruption in the political world? You have not a lot of time to choose a question and think of your answer. So what I would do if I were in your shoes, if I were taking the exam, I would speak, but I would speak slowly, but not too slow. Yeah. So for example, I'm not going to say personally, that's too slow. Yeah. But I'm not, even if I have a good introduction, I'm not going to say, personally, I believe that the best solution to this issue, I will take the middle ground. Because psychologically, not always, but often people connect speaking quickly with sometimes excitement. Sometimes you're just excited about the topic and that's fine. But often in things like interviews, public speaking, and those social situations where we often feel nervous, we often connect fast speaking with panic and nervousness. Okay? So not only, if you speak at a medium speed, not only do you give a calm and kind of, how do I say it, a calm and smart impression, you're not panicking, you're staying calm and you have everything planned, but also you get more time. Again, if you're high level, you get more time to think of what you're gonna say next. Because actually, there are people, I can do this sometimes, but higher level students, when you know your grammar, you're good with vocabulary, and you have a lot of experience, you can do what we call dual processing. Okay, I don't know if that's the right word, but in other words, you can multitask and think about many things at the same time. Yeah, and this is why you will find higher level students will notice their own mistakes more often, or they will even correct themselves. And this is because if you're a beginner, there's no way you can think about your mistakes at the same time as grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, all of this stuff at the same time, right? Because in a conversation, you got to think about listening, speaking. Sometimes if you're in a, like, I don't know, if you're in a social situation, you got to think about your, like, being polite, body posture and things like that. And for a beginner, it's all too much. And that's why they make more mistakes. But higher level learners, they don't have to focus so much to speak about topics. And so they have more space in their brain to notice and think about, oh, no, it's not the right pronunciation. Sorry. And then you correct yourself. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a long, I went off track. What was I talking about? Sorry, let me go back to the comments. Okay. So, Mystery Ed. I'm sorry, a rude question. Where are you from? What are you from? Where am I from, you mean? I'm from the UK. As somebody said, I have a British accent. I was born here in the UK. If you look at my profile, my mother is from Hong Kong. My father is from Malaysia. But I was born here, first generation, here in the UK. Okay? Good question. And then, oh, that was before. I'm new to learning English. I mean, you speak very clearly. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I actually don't like my voice, but that's another story. Judy, I kinda understand now. You may be isolated by usual people who are left behind you, but you will attract better people at the same time. Very, very good point. I like the way you express that, people behind you. But I think, because again, if we think about our role models, people who we see as better than us, there are many amazing people, a lot of you, right now. I am the example of native English right now. It's my first language. So if we compare our English levels, it's natural to say that I am above you, right? But yes, you are below me, but you are listening to me and trying to make yourself better. So in this sense, I think it's related to personality. There are people who will be always trying to improve themselves, and they're always looking at other people. They're watching other people and copying good examples. And this is the way to grow. This is the best way to become better at life and doing many things, right? So I don't think that being behind someone always means that you will separate or become isolated from them. If there is a mutual respect, if you have a good relationship, actually, you can kind of, classic, for example, rivals. A classic scene you might see in a drama or a story is like two childhood friends who are always trying to beat each other. They're being competitive and they're always trying to be number one. But this is kind of a healthy relationship because they're so close and they respect each other at the same time. They're both pushing each other forward, right? So I don't think being behind is always a bad thing. But yeah. What was it? Jake, every time I get the same Sunday roast, I get excited. Sunday roast, very British. Are you in the UK, Jake? Oh, I'm very happy when people talk about British culture. I do have a little bit of British pride. Not much, just a smidge. Just a little bit. Do you have an IELTS? What do you mean? Do you mean, have I ever taken the IELTS exam? No, because I'm a native English speaker. Do I teach IELTS? Yes, I do. I teach IELTS and ACAN. Those are the two main ones. Most of my students are Japanese, so the ACAN is a Japanese English exam. But I do teach exam English. That makes sense. Why do we see two of you? That was a very good question. So, to put it simply, Hello Talk is a bit old-fashioned in the UI and the design of the website. It's not very easy to... So I'm using a streaming software called... what was it? OBS. And actually, I'll show you my screen right now. A bit of a behind-the-scenes look. Look at this. Wow. Anyway, so... what was I saying? So I'm using this like streaming software here. I know it's a bit bright, it's difficult to see, and I have my second screen here. Look, my poster and my microphone. Anyway, so putting this back here. What was I saying? I keep forgetting. That was it. So this software is very good because you can customize the scenes, you can change screens very easily, and this is the reason why I can do this. Bam! Notes. Bam! Just my webcam. Yeah. Oh, my smartphone. Bam! Changing the angles. Yeah. This is all quite new to me. I only started live streaming 2-3 months ago. And I've only started doing more regular live streams recently. But for me, I've realized that I do love teaching. And of course, I have my regular one-on-one classes with my students, but being able to talk to you guys, I have so many people from India, Korea, China, Japan, like, there's so many people from different countries, and sometimes you guys are teaching me stuff about your countries, and I love that. So, of course, live streaming, to be honest, before last year, I never thought I would be a live streamer. And to be honest, now I still don't feel like a live streamer. But when I think about being able to do these fun, quiz games, teaching you vocabulary, sharing culture, like, isn't that just awesome that we're all in different parts of the world right now, but we're here in the same place? Like, to me, that's just awesome. And even from now, I want to continue doing live streams. I'm thinking about a lot of different activities. One day I want to have like group discussions and maybe give you guys a chance to, meet new people. Because one of the reasons I became a teacher, actually, I didn't plan to be a teacher, but it was when I was in university. I went to this like club called English Corner. As you know, the UK is a huge mix of different cultures. We have people from Poland, India, Singapore, Hong Kong, Africa, all over the place. But a lot of university students, being foreign, I don't know the statistics, maybe it's 30% of all students come from abroad, university students. In my university, there were a lot of Chinese students from mainland China, some Hong Kong, and where else? India as well. A lot of these people come to the UK and their first experience living abroad, studying abroad, is at 18, 19 years old. I don't know about you guys, but I was not an adult. I was not ready to be an adult at 18 years old. Now, for us locals, for us British people studying in the UK, yes, okay, maybe we live away from home in a dormitory, yeah. But if we want to, if we feel homesick, that is, that feeling of I want to go home, we can. It's just a train ride, like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours train, but yeah, you can go home, see your family and everything. But if for a lot of these foreign students, they couldn't do that. You can't just buy a plane ticket and go back home anytime you want. So it was a very scary and lonely experience for a lot of them. I didn't experience this, but I learned about how they felt when I went to this event called English Corner. English Corner was a place where locals, like volunteers, it could be university students, but also just the people outside of the university who live in the local area. Locals, native students and foreign students who want to practice their English. This event was for the foreign students to come to a place where they could practice English stress-free. Because it's scary, right? If you go to a foreign country and you speak to the locals, not everybody is so understanding. Not everybody knows what it's like to learn a second language. And this is why learning a language as a hobby can be quite isolating. It can be quite lonely, right? When you're the only one who's studying a language and then, you know, you're stressing about forgetting words, the frustration of you can't express your feelings, or maybe you say something rude by accident. All of these things, if you're studying it alone, for example, for me, a lot of people study English, but not many study Japanese. And even fewer people, British people, study Japanese. So I have felt lonely. Like, I wish I had a friend or a partner who also studied Japanese so I could like talk to him about, you know, the annoying thing about, what was it, tsu, shi, so, these characters that are super similar. But I didn't have that kind of friend or partner or community. And often I feel, I'll be honest, I'm a bad person, I feel a little bit jealous of you English learners, because English is the most commonly studied language around the world, along with Mandarin Chinese. And because of that, there's a huge community, right? Like, almost everyone is studying, okay, not everyone, but a lot of people are studying English, so many groups, and you can all connect and understand each other. But at the same time, creating this community, like myself, seeing all of you guys talk to each other and try to study English, that's awesome. I love that. But anyway, going back to why I became a teacher, when I joined this as a volunteer, this English Corner event, it was like, one local does a presentation. Oh, I might have a photo, but it will take a long time to find, so next time. But some volunteers just choose a topic, like a holiday, like Christmas. They give a short presentation. There are like 30 chairs. People come to this like church, It was organized by a Christian church, okay? But you didn't have to be Christian to join. Yeah, you just come, you bring your friends, it's very casual. And so, for example, today we're going to talk about Christmas, okay? So, first question. What do you guys think about Christmas? How is Christmas in your country? Quick, groups, discuss. And then everybody starts talking. Locals with foreign speakers, old, young people. It's a huge mix, and that's what I loved about this event. Now we don't have it anymore. The people who organized it and the church have disappeared, which is quite sad, but it was just awesome. And it was a great chance for cultural exchange as well, not just to learn stuff, but to connect and make new friends. And actually, a lot of people who met through this event has been happening for like 30 years or something like that. A lot of people actually got married through this event. They met their life partner, and then they like come back a few years later. Again, it's a Christian church, and they talk to the people and they say, hey, by the way, can we have our wedding here? And like, it's just so cool seeing people, you know, make life connections at these kinds of events. And that's something that I want to make one day. Of course, we're all over the world right now. We're in so many different countries, but my dream, or one of my dreams, is to create this kind of community and like connect people where you can make friends. Because finding a language partner is so difficult, right? On Hello Talk, there's a lot of shady people on this platform. Well, on any platform. But you get those guys, it's usually guys. I'm sorry, boys and men. I know I'm also a guy, but there are so many guys that use Hello Talk as a platform for picking up girls. Yeah? And I've seen like female streamers, you know, sometimes I look at other streamers for inspiration, you know, for my live streams. And there will be some streamers who are very good looking, handsome, or, you know, beautiful. And in the comments, there will always be one or two people be like, hey, you're looking beautiful today. Oh, how did you do it? It's just like, ugh. Like, I'm sorry, I might be being a bit rude, but I hate that. And this might be why I'm not popular with the girls. I don't like it when I go to parties and I see like a beautiful girl. Like there'll be so many men trying to talk to that girl, and she'll be like a celebrity almost. And when I see that, I'm just like, ugh, give her some space. But then again, if you don't approach somebody you're interested in, if you're a boy or a girl, man or woman, if you don't try to talk to them, then of course nothing will ever start, right? But there are good ways and bad ways of starting a relationship that is friend or romantic, okay? Too many people just start with gross comments, and I don't like it. But anyway, sorry, I need to look at the chat again. So yeah, long diversion. Explicit teacher, what days do you live stream? I usually live stream on Saturdays, sometimes Fridays. For example, yesterday I live streamed. But yeah, usually I'm thinking from now to do one lesson live stream that is a topic. For example, yesterday was moral dilemmas, last week was movies, next week is video games, and then I will do another live stream every week that is free talk, just casual chatting, something like this. I'm going to do a lot more vocabulary reviews so that, you know, because you need to review these keywords often, right? At least once a week if you want to remember them, okay? So vocabulary reviews, quiz games. If it's a special holiday like Christmas, then I might do a trivia quiz. And then, yeah, just a lot of stuff. So I will try to do at least 2 live streams a week. Usually Saturday and Friday or Sunday, but definitely Saturday. But if I can only do one day, it will just be Saturday. Okay? So, and as usual, I will post on my moments. Okay, now, sorry, there's a lot of comments. Let me go through. Jake, I like the way the host explains with modesty. Different people have different skills and specialties. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm modest. I guess I'm not arrogant, but I just don't see the advantage. I feel like I'm wrong a lot of the time. And as a teacher, it's more important for me to be honest and say, by the way, I taught you this word the other day, but actually I was wrong. This is the real answer. Or if I really don't know the answer to something, I will just say, I'm sorry, I don't actually know the answer to this, so I will get back to you. I will message you later. Okay? For example, yesterday somebody asked me, what does the word serendipity mean? And I was like, I have no idea. I've never used this word in my life. And that's also useful information, right? Because there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of words in English, Japanese, Chinese, but we don't use all of them, right? So just knowing, hey, serendipity, I never use it, I don't even know this word, it probably means for you, you don't need to know it. Okay, so anyway. BLH, are you also teaching grammar? On live streams, I don't teach grammar usually because I think for me, I want to give you guys something unique or something valuable. On YouTube, there are hundreds of grammar videos. And there are hundreds of teachers who probably teach grammar much better than me. Okay? For me, I want to make my special unique point, I guess you could say. I want to make English fun, and I want to focus on teaching the world through English. Now, this sounds very grand. What I mean is, I want to teach about something interesting through English. So in other words, we will learn about morality, movies, or something, and then we'll learn English at the same time. Because usually, nobody says, oh, I love the English language. I want to study idioms all day, every day. No. But a lot of people, okay, not no one, actually, I do like studying the English language, but anyway, it's relatively few, right? So I want to talk about like recent events, you know, social media, AI, all of these current topics. Our world is changing right now. It's a scary kind of time period to be in. Like, AI is changing everything. We got self-driving cars. We got a lot of sad and depressing news as well. So I just want to teach English in a different way. It's not the best answer, but anyway. Eric, your Japanese must be good. I wish. Yeah, it's okay. I don't speak Japanese often, but what's it? It's enough to communicate. Do you record your lives on YouTube? Good question. I'm actually streaming on YouTube right now, and if you want to find my YouTube channel, you can find it here. But, what was it? I used to make a lot of videos, but to be honest, I don't think I'm a very good YouTuber. I'm not. I make a lot of videos. I tried really hard for a year, but if you look at the views, they're all terrible. So I don't think I'm very good at making videos, like English learning videos. So instead, the live streaming is going really well. Today, we have a new record, 114 people. This is the most I've seen so far. But yeah, I always stream on YouTube and Hello Talk at the same time. And the cool thing is, on YouTube, the recording will be automatically uploaded after the live stream ends, okay? So for any people, for example, if you joined halfway through this live stream, you probably missed the trivia vocabulary review that I did at the beginning of this stream. This thing here, yeah. There were a lot of fun questions and lots of pictures. You know, what's the name of a fear of heights? Flip. Whoa, acrophobia. Oh my gosh. And things like that. So, you know, if you miss a part of the live stream, then you can go to my YouTube channel, click on the live tab. It's probably better if I just show you. Where is it? Sorry, 1 second, please. Here we go. So if you go here, screen 1, Eric English is my YouTube channel, and you can go to live. And right now, it says here, live people 3 watching. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it will have all of the recordings. For example, yesterday I did a video on moral dilemmas. All of the presentations and lesson materials are there. You can see it here. There we go. We talked a bit. Capital punishment. Okay. Another word you could use is execute, and so on. Okay. So if you miss something, do not worry. You can find most of my stuff, all of my live streams, on YouTube. That's it. My brain's getting tired. I will have to stop this live stream soon because I can feel my brain getting tired after 2-3 hours. So yeah. But anyway, let's have a look. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments. Sorry, I have to go back so far. Okay, so have you been to Hong Kong? Yes, I have. My mother is from Hong Kong, so I've been quite a few times. 7, 8 times. August, do you record your lives on YouTube? Yeah, I just explained that, so yes, I do. 3 screens, yeah, it's a lot of screens, and I have a lot of windows, like Hello Talk this side, YouTube this side. I have my materials, teaching stuff on the second screen. So sometimes that's why you will see me panic when I do something like this. I'm just like, oh, sorry, you weren't supposed to see that. Oh, not this guy. Though I guess it's quite funny for you guys because you can see like, oh, he's panicking, and like, yeah. But it's quite cool to see behind the scenes, right? Like sometimes I prepare these live streams 30 minutes before, and then I think 30 minutes, oof, easy peasy, no problem. And then I realize, uh-oh, if I put this window here and then Hello Talk here, but I can't see the comments, and then, oh, wait, there's a problem now. And then, I try to do this by myself. I really wish I were rich enough to hire, you know, some moderator who could help me manage everything. Oh, that would be a lifesaver. But anyway. Sir, I am worried about your electricity bills. Thank you, Jake. I'm worried too. Holy my! I got this light. I've got that light, and then, whatever. And have you seen the screen? It's huge. Like, look at this rubbish. It's huge. Okay, so the funny thing is, oh no! So we were talking about technical problems earlier, right? On my phone, I just accidentally pressed a button that was for my virtual camera. I'm not gonna explain it, it's confusing, even I don't understand. But basically, I can use my phone as a webcam, and that's what I was doing here. I had my phone on my desk, but now I have screwed it. I made a mistake, so anyway, I'm gonna finish the stream soon anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big problem. But yeah. So yeah, I'm also worried about my electricity bills, Jake. Thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. Jake, you like my positive energy. Thank you very much. After these streams, especially when I'm teaching children, I hope none of my young students are watching, but I teach like elementary school, junior high school. I have taught everything from 4 years old to 85 years old, right? Most of my students now are like 20s, 30s, like working adults or university students. But I'm getting more younger students. And of course, with children, you've got to be energetic. If you are not energetic, they'll be like this. And then I will ask them a question, and they'll be like, for example, how was your day today? And they will say, yeah, it's good. And I might say, can you think of another word instead of good? And they'll be like, no. It's just like, ugh. But sometimes, you know, children are humans too. Of course, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it feels like they're devils from hell, like screaming and crying and never listening to you. But children, you know, they have bad days. They get tired. And English is boring. It can be boring. That's my job. It's my job to make it fun. For me, when I'm teaching, I have two goals. I teach you useful language. I want to give you a useful lesson. But also, I need to make it fun. If it's not fun or it's not interesting, oh, this is very bad. Do not do this. Very bad. It means you. Bad word. If my lessons are not at least at the very minimum, if they're not interesting or fun, then I failed my job completely. I have failed 100%. So I'm always aiming to make it both fun and interesting. And I hope these live streams are fun and interesting. Please do tell me if you have any complaints. Maybe the text is too small. Eric, you speak too fast. I don't like the font or anything. Any criticism. Do not worry about offending me or like hurting my feelings. As you can see, I'm not a very confident, like I'm always trying to improve. So if you do have any requests or anything like that, please do let me know. Anyway. So yes, tell us. What were you talking about? I forgot, I apologize. And then we have some Spanish. I'm sorry, I can't speak Spanish. Europeans learning Eastern Asian languages is challenging. Yeah, it's true. I mean, some people talk about the most difficult language in the world, right? I think that's a meaningless question because the difficulty or how difficult a language is for you depends on your mother tongue, your first language. If your mother tongue is Japanese, it's much easier for you to learn Chinese or Korean. Chinese, the kanji, or the characters for Japanese, came from China. If they are studying Korean, the grammar between Japanese and Korean is very similar. And often, the words are almost the same. For example, I speak Cantonese, which is a dialect of Chinese in Hong Kong. And one word for sun, the sun, is in Cantonese, taiyang. Taiyang. I don't know what it is in Mandarin. It might be similar. But in Japanese, it's taiyo. Taiyo. My pronunciation might not be the best. But it's quite similar, right? Taiyang. Taiyo, and things like that, okay? So, of course, depending on the language you're trying to learn, if it's similar to your mother tongue, it's going to be easy. But if you're going from Japanese to English, English to Japanese, it's completely different, right? So, of course, it's difficult. So, the hardest language, I don't think there is a hardest language. There's no universal hardest language. There you Um, that's so true, man. I don't know which part because I'm very slow with the comments. I think there are more people coming now, so there's more comments. So I'm sorry, I've lost what people are talking about. I hope one day we can join the study group you mentioned. Yeah, I would love to. Right now, I'm just focusing on making better live streams, getting more like materials, YouTube things, and stuff like that. But I'm definitely thinking about that study group. So please wait for me. What was your profession? What was my profession? Ever since I graduated, I have been a teacher. This is my first and only profession. I graduated from university 8 years ago now, and I've been teaching for 8 years. So this is my only profession. Is this live? Dari? I don't know. Is this live? Or is it just a recorded simulation? What do you think? Yes, it's live. What is your first language? English, British, English. But interestingly, when I... Oh my gosh, my hair. Oh, my hair's so messy. Anyway, a lot of people, since I started teaching and live streaming and social media and all of this stuff, a lot of people say that I have a very British accent. But when I compare myself to my friends and other people, I don't feel like I have a especially British accent. I think it's just normal English, right? Maybe I do, I don't know. Ichiro, I want to be a YouTuber. Don't be a YouTuber, it's terrible. No, I'm joking. Yeah, go for it. You know, if you want to build a business or you're passionate about something, just do it, yeah. If it fails, like for example for me, my YouTube channel, it's failed a lot. Like I've done it for 1 year, and the podcast video I released like 2-3 weeks ago, it's got like 200 views. That's terrible, right? Like I've never seen many videos that are that low, but I don't regret doing it. And I want to make more videos. Again, I'm maybe focusing on live streaming now, but even if you fail, there's something to learn. So just do it. Nike, just do it. Maybe I should be a Nike, how do I say it? I want to ask Nike to put me in their advertisements. I'll just be like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Anyway. Stupid. You might have realized I'm quite a strange person. You may upload the videos to RedNote. You will be popular there. And that I've heard about RedNote, and I'm thinking about uploading videos. But the problem is with social media, especially with these short videos, we judge people very quickly. People will decide if they want to watch or just skip in like 3-4 seconds. Look at me. How many of you thought I was a native British speaker? Put your hands up. I can't see your hands, but raise your hand. Probably not so many. Many of you now know, and after listening to me speak and, you know, teach, maybe you start to realize, oh, he is a native speaker. But on social media, where you have 3-4 seconds, if I were a handsome, blue eyes, blonde hair, wearing a suit and tie, with the same voice and the same life, just my appearance changes, I think I might do a lot better. And it's unfortunate, but appearances are important and they have a big impact on first impressions. Now, of course, when I teach people, a lot of people who I teach for the first time, they take a trial lesson with me, I'm quite confident about making a good first impression, because when you have like 15-20 minutes, that's enough time to know somebody, right? But on social media, 3 seconds, nah. This Asian guy, who is he? He thinks he's a native speaker. Bye. Something like that. That's just an unfortunate reality. Okay. Anyway, carrying on. I'm trying to find... Where was it? Okay, there's no chat in YouTube. Good. Next comment. I like your live stream. It's really cool and helpful. Thank you, BLH. I appreciate it. Thank you. No. Yes. I'm not sure. You've got a very wonderful job. Yeah, I've had very mixed feelings about teaching. Teaching is one of the easiest jobs to get into. Yeah. A lot of these jobs in Asia, especially, or non-English speaking countries, if you're a native speaker, that's good enough. No problem. It doesn't matter. Have you ever taught a class before? No? Don't worry about it. We'll give you a 1 week training. That's enough. No problem. And that's why if you go to an English language school, especially these larger companies, in Japan, there are some companies, I'm sorry, I always use Japan as an example. It's because I've only worked in Japan. But there are these huge companies. And to be very honest, I won't say which company, but a lot of these companies have so many teachers, but the quality of these teachers can be night and day. Some of them can be terrible. Okay, actually, I don't think there are many terrible teachers, but I think the quality does vary a lot. Okay? Because a lot of people use these English teaching jobs as a way to travel. Their interest is not teaching English, it's traveling and going abroad. And a common phenomenon, a common situation is that foreigners will go abroad. They love the culture, they love traveling, you know, and experiencing the country, but also they feel like a superstar, right? Because, you know, in the classes, you're the foreigner. They have blonde hair. They're like, oh, I want to talk to the foreigner and things like that. And a lot of them become very arrogant, I think. And often many of these people will quit teaching after a year, for example, and they'll go back to their own country. But the problem is, China, Korea, Japan, these countries are so popular for foreign tourists and English speakers that you never run out of new university graduates or people who have never taught before. They are always going to these companies, and because the application, the requirement, native speaker, good, come in, it's not very high. Now, don't get me wrong, there are wonderful teachers. There are some people who are awesome teachers in these companies. But actually, a lot of people do not know the difference between a good and a fun teacher. I can be a fun teacher a lot of the time. It's quite easy for me to be energetic and fun. But, as I said earlier, giving a useful and a fun lesson, I need both. For me, that is my goal. It cannot just be one. And when I teach some of these children, like before, when I was working in the large company, they have these group children's classes. A lot of them, the parents would watch the children's lessons through the glass. And if you have a loud voice, funny faces, and you can do basic exercises like, what's this? Red, red, yay! That's enough. You don't have to be a genius to do that, right? And so a lot of, especially parents and even sometimes adult students, will confuse a fun teacher with a good teacher. But for me, these two things are not always the same. Now, to be a good teacher, you do need to be fun and, entertaining, depending on the situation. Of course, when I need to teach grammar, I don't, I focus on the grammar first and the fun comes second. But my point is that, actually, what was my point? Yeah, I love my job being a teacher, but because it's so easy to get these jobs, the pay is rubbish. It's so bad. I like to think I'm a good teacher, like better than most average teachers. I like to think that. I don't think I am. And that's why I'm trying to improve. But teachers are important, but it's so easy to become a teacher, especially an English teacher, that the pay is very low. And so I've often thought about quitting teaching. I love it so much, but I need to pay for these crazy electricity bills of all these stupid lights. And I want to buy a house someday. I want to have children. I want to get married, and all of these things cost money. So what do I do? And the conclusion, the choice I've made for now is to go away from these companies, to become a freelance online English teacher so that I can receive 100% of my lesson fees. But also, it's just the freedom, right? Like, the other day yesterday we talked about moral dilemmas, and some words came up, some controversial topics: abortion, pornography, sex, depression. These are taboo topics. You can't talk about them. They are controversial. That is, people often disagree and have arguments. Sorry, 1 second. If you work in a company, there is no way you cannot talk about these things. And that's just simply because it's for business. If you have a group lesson and you start talking about abortion, and let's say you have a male student and a female student, if somebody has a controversial opinion, there's a high chance that they will argue, right? Maybe not, but there's a good chance. And that's why we often don't talk about controversial issues with friends, family, anyone. But for language schools, this is a big problem, because if they argue and it becomes awkward, they might quit. They might move to another language school, and for the school, that's less money, less profit, less business. Being a good teacher and teaching everything that I want, having that freedom, and teaching you bad words, for example, or like talking about these taboo topics, I think they're so important. And I want to, be able to teach that. So 2 main reasons why I became a freelance teacher. 1, because I have more freedom. I can teach anything that I think is important, and I hope you think is important as well. And 2, so I can get more money so that I can continue teaching for the rest of my life. And this is why I haven't quit teaching yet. The pay is low, it's rubbish, and right now I'm actually looking for more students. But what was I saying? Sorry, guys, this has gotten very deep, and I didn't intend to talk about this so much, so I apologize if this is boring, but yeah, like, it's low pay, sometimes it's stressful, and many times I doubt my own ability. I think, I didn't teach that well. Or like, if a student stops taking lessons with me, I think, I didn't, maybe I said something bad, or like, because when students stop taking lessons, they don't tell you why. Sometimes it's just real life, they get busy, that's fine. But as a teacher, or as anything, when you're working with a client and you lose them, they will not tell you why. It might be your fault, but it might not be. And as a very serious person, sorry, oh my gosh, my hair. As a very serious person, I tend to blame myself a lot. Anyway, I've been talking too much. There are so many comments that I need to go through, so let's go back. You're a good teacher? Thank you, Charlie. I like to think so. I'm really funny. Leisure, I'm very funny. Sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, I was enjoying. I'm here about 2 hours. 2 hours, BLH. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much. It's funny. In Japan, they often like bow. Since I came back to the UK, even though I'm not Japanese, sometimes I just bow like automatically. It's become a part of my personality. But anyway, I want to learn English, blah blah. Top 3. You sound better than British. Oh, Ray, thank you very much. If you were my student, I would give you lots of gifts. No, that's not right. You don't give students gifts. But anyway, I would be very happy. I would be over the moon. I'm sorry, some questions like where are you from, are you British, and things like that, I've answered it 50,000 times, so I'm gonna dress up like a British. Interesting. Is this British fashion? Do I look cool? I don't know. I don't like fashion, but I know it's important. Anyway, I'm one of those like people who, okay, no, I care about fashion now, but I'm hopeless. I do not know anything about fashion. Like, I've told this story, I won't say it again, but one time, my friends, my housemates who are women, there were like 3 girls, they took me out shopping and they dressed me. They bought clothes for me. Not this one, I chose this one myself, okay? So, just wait. But there's another green sweater that I wore before, and they were like, alright, this looks good on you. And they just said, buy it. And I was like, but I don't like, just buy it. I don't like this color. Anyway. But, so, are you a student? Nope, I'm a teacher. I suppose this time you've got the most audience members ever since. Keep it up, you're more and more popular. Thank you. I mean, should I be popular? Part of me doesn't want to become popular because, for example, if I have like a small group, I can focus my attention on those students and I can, you know, create that relationship. But as I said, maybe in the future I will do some private group lessons, and that way we can have a more, you know, good relationship, because live streaming is great, but when you have like more than 100 people, 200 people, you can't respond to everyone. I'm just one person, right? But if I had unlimited energy and time, I would definitely try to respond to everyone. But anyway, Peter, I like your style. You special. Am I special? Well, thank you very much. I'm very sarcastic, by the way. If I do things like, oh, I'm a genius, usually I will exaggerate my face or my body expression, my tone of voice, like, oh, thank you very much. this is me being sarcastic. I'm pretending. In other words, and British people are very sarcastic. So in this way, I am very British. I'm very sarcastic. So there you go. Your pronunciation is very clear. Thank you. Hi. Do you teach children? I do. And then, oh, got it. I'm trying to find a good teacher for my kids. Well, should I do it now? I've been waiting for a long time to announce my teaching website. Because, I don't know. I'm just worried. But, should I do it now? There's a lot of people watching. But maybe later today on my moments, or maybe at the end of today's live stream, I will send you... screw it, I've been waiting long enough, it's fine. I teach individual lessons. Right now, I teach Monday to Friday from about 7 AM UK time to around 1 PM. So if you're in China or Japan, Asia, this is usually like 5 PM to like 9, 10 PM. If you want to take a lesson with me or you're interested, you can send me a message or something, or you can just find my website here and I will put it in the chat. Okay? If you're on my YouTube channel, you already know this. I will put it in the chat anyway. Where is the chat? I apologize because the website is not amazing. You know, you have to sign up, and then it's not like a super big company website. But if you sign up there, you can look at my lessons. Most of my lessons, and actually wait before you book a lesson, because I do plan to give a coupon code. My lessons, depending on your currency and country, it might be expensive or not so expensive. But for you guys who are joining my live stream right now, to say thank you for all of your comments, taking part, and just, yeah, giving me so much more confidence and stuff like that. I want to thank you guys. And of course, I would love to. I love live streaming, but maybe even more than that, I love getting to know you guys one-on-one. Because to me, right now, I have this computer. You guys are just words on a screen. You're just names. Half of you, I can't even read your names because they're in Chinese, and I can't read Chinese. I'm very embarrassed to say. But I do recognize some names. Yeah, like August, Olesia, Jake, and so on. Yeah. And from now, all of you, you know, I'm going to remember more names, but at the same time, I want to speak to you. Like, that's one of my favorite things about teaching. It's just not just teaching, but getting to know you guys personally. And that's why I have this personality. I'm naturally a sociable person. I love getting to know about different cultures and languages. So if you're interested, you can book a lesson with me on my website. But again, I know that not everybody has the money, so please just join the live stream if you know, want to stay in touch. But for those of you who want to bring your English to the next level, or just, you know, have a one-on-one conversation with me, you can check out my website. Okay? But I don't like advertising my stuff, so but yes, I will post a, how do I say it? I will give you, what is the word? A coupon code, so that you can get the first lesson for half price or something like that. But I'll send you the details later. Okay? But for now, that is my website. Okay? I should pin it. How do I pin this comment so that I don't have to keep going up? Anyway, so let me go back. Oh, it's so far. Pronounce very clear. Do you teach children? Okay. And then so on. So yeah, I do teach. Milky, I like. Oh, Milky, how could I forget Milky? Oh my gosh, yes. I like listening to honest feelings and thoughts. Yeah. It's difficult because being authentic or being real, as I said, nowadays there are so many people who want to become famous or popular and things like that, that they will play a character. Because in our real life, when we're sitting at home just relaxing, we're probably not very interesting people, a lot of us. I know I'm not. I'm just like, if I'm watching Netflix, I'm just like... And then, because I'm so tired from live streaming and teaching, sometimes when my friends talk to me, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Right, that's cool. I'm not this energetic. And I do feel bad because I want to talk to my friends like seriously with a lot of energy and things like that. But yeah, I like to think I'm being honest or authentic. Maybe I'm unconsciously acting. I don't know, but I'll let you decide. Anyway, I find you're a very good teacher. Good teacher likes telling stories, as you do. Interesting point, Ray. Actually, when I'm teaching one-on-one, I do my best to speak as little as possible. Okay? I do not tell any stories. I do not share anything about my life. But, of course, I give my student the chance to ask questions. Because a problem with many inexperienced teachers, and if you want to be a language teacher, here is some painful advice. If you like telling stories, be careful. You might not be a good English language teacher, because a common problem is the teachers will enjoy their conversation with the student, they'll get excited, and then they will start like forgetting that it's a lesson. And let's say we're talking about Halloween, and the student asks you, what was your worst nightmare? And you go, oh, crazy story. So the other day, blah, 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 blah. And because they're a native, they can speak for 10, 20, 30 minutes. But then, hello, this is an English lesson that I paid money for. I didn't pay to listen. I want to practice, right? So a common reason why a language teacher might not be successful or popular or do well is because they talk too much. That's actually probably the most common reason. Me, I've been teaching for 7 years, so I've become very good at not talking so much and making the student speak as much as possible. Yeah, I'm very confident when it comes to this, which is why actually I'm really surprised at myself. I'm surprised that live streaming, again, I've been doing it for less than half a year, but reading the comments and being able to speak, when it's live streaming, you have to talk a lot. You're the main person. If you do these like group discussions, like some people do on Hello Talk, that's fine. You don't have to speak so much. It's more of a group conversation, right? But for me, I prefer to usually stream by myself because I think I'm not amazing, but I would say I'm pretty good at speaking clearly speaking in hopefully an interesting way, but also teaching vocabulary. Yeah. Even though we finished the trivia quizzes, the previous lessons, I'm always thinking about using these idioms, especially again and again, so that you can hear them many times. And this is the nice thing about free talk. This is, you can hear how I use idioms naturally, right? Because just a few examples in a textbook or a presentation, it's not enough, right? And that's why studying textbooks, school, language schools, classrooms, they're great, but it's not enough, in my opinion. And this is the good thing about live streaming, so anyway. I keep going off topic. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway. Get friends. I got busy. August says I got busy. Get friends. To be honest, you are a very good teacher. I'm happy that you think so, August. I appreciate it. It does mean a lot. I don't know if I'm the best on HelloTalk. I know a lot of good teachers on HelloTalk. You know, Jonathan, Jules, teacher Stephanie. Then we have Dave. What's his name? Dave Kasim. Teacher Mark. There's what's his name? John. He works in China. These guys, they have like thousands of followers and things like that. And of course, I know numbers are not everything, but it's something. And I'll be honest, after doing YouTube for a year and having such low views, it's hit me in the confidence a little bit, but you just gotta keep trying, right? And anyway, so yes. Eric, aren't you Chinese or something? Yeah, my ethnicity is Chinese, but my nationality is British. Rafi, any games today? You missed the games, Rafi. You're too late, but you can watch the live stream and review it later. Okay. August, keep trying. Thank you. And but yeah, 160 people. What the heck, guys? I'm talking about nothing. My webcam is bad. The lighting's not very good. Like, I made lots of mistakes. Why are you watching? No, I'm joking. But it just feels very strange to be... I don't want to say successful, but the live streaming is going much better than I expected, which is nice. If the live streams, if the videos go well, not so well, I just need to focus on the main goal. Making good English content, giving you guys more chances to practice, speak and listen and all of this stuff. And then I hope that the numbers, my business and everything can grow. Because then, if I can make money, of course, money is not everything, but it means that I don't have to change my job and I can focus 100%, 120% on teaching. And to be honest, if I didn't like teaching this much, I would have quit by now, I think. So, there's no other job I can imagine. Like, when I was teaching on a big website for one of these big companies, where they advertise you and do lots of things, it's easy to get students. I had like 12 lessons back to back, no break, like many days. Like, so 25 minutes a lesson, 12 lessons, that's what, 6 hours, no break. But I could do it. I was exhausted. I was knackered. Knackered, British word for exhausted. I was knackered. Probably even more knackered than I am right now. I've been streaming for what, 3 hours now with no break. But I would turn off the webcam. I would end my call with my last student. I'd be like, bye. Click. And I would I just looked at the wall for 5 minutes. Again, it's a bright monitor. Even my eyes are hurting right now, so I want to move this a bit more. But my brain just stops working. And I thought, any other job, like, I don't know, accounting, being a scientist, doing experiments. There are a lot of jobs in the world, but I can't imagine doing anything for 6 hours with no break and then thinking, okay, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to doing the exact same thing. I say it's the same thing, but because I teach one-on-one lessons, everyone is different. Every person has different stories to tell. Every person has different unique selling points or, personalities, which is why I never get bored. I love talking to people, but I need to be careful because I need to teach at the same time, right? But yeah. So this is why although sometimes I regret teaching because I thought, oh, if I did programming or something, I would have so much more money right now. I think about people who have a lot of money but do a job that is very stressful and they hate it. And it makes me think, if I can grow my business, if my money becomes like no problem, my life is perfect. Because I love teaching so much. So, yeah. That's how I feel. By the way, I'm not crying. I'm just... I have a runny nose. I'm actually not crying. I can prove it to you. I'm not crying. Okay, right. I have so much... Why do I have a runny nose? I think it's hay fever. Because it's starting to get warmer and the flowers are blooming. This is not an excuse. I am actually not... I'll show you... Because I can't hear you guys, sometimes I feel like I'm a crazy person. It feels like sometimes when I don't look at the chat, I feel like I'm just talking to myself. And sometimes my brother, who lives in the same house, he probably thinks I'm crazy too, saying, I'm not crying. Oh, hay fever, gross. I'm sorry, you don't have to see us. Sorry. Okay. Right. Oh, no drink. My mouth is so dry. Please wait. Okay. Oh, it's really hot. Too hot. Okay, right. Let's quickly read some top comments. Let's see. Vocabulary is our self-study. Do you mean you need to study vocabulary by yourself? If that's the case, yes. Self-study, very important. Drink some wine before you do a live stream. Are you crazy? First of all, drinking on a live stream, no. It's against the rules. I know you said before the live stream, but if I do a live stream, let's say I drink 1 glass of wine or 1 can of beer, just a little bit. The live stream will be like this, okay? I'm going to show you what the live stream is like. You just see me sleeping. Like, I get so sleepy when I'm drunk, so I'll be like... I know some people get very, like, angry, or, I don't know, very emotional when they, like, what about you guys? I'm sorry, I haven't asked you guys so many questions. Like, how do you guys change when you get drunk? This is a good conversation question. For me, I just get sleepy. I'm very boring. But some people, they become very energetic and cheerful, and they're like, hey. It's funny when you see an introvert or a quiet, shy person become, like, they do a 180 and they become a completely different person, right? It's hilarious. So yeah. They might have thousands of followers, but as far as I can see, you have your own fans. Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, to be honest, what was it? Just having a few regular fans who come to the live streams, talk to you, when I start recognizing those names, it is a very special feeling. Like live streaming when nobody knew me, when I did my first live stream, I didn't know anyone, nobody knew me. It was quite a lonely experience. And the beginning was not hard, but it was like, yeah, it's quite fun, it's quite cool and interesting. But now, when I'm talking to you guys, like, what, 160 people, sorry. 160 people watching me, but more important than the number, I'm recognizing names. I'm seeing your names and saying, ah, it's Anan, or like, oh, it's, you know, Milky, and so on. That is a feeling that is very special, and that's thanks to you guys. So thank you so much. Anyway, I shouldn't talk too much, otherwise I'm going to start crying again. I mean, I'm going to start getting hay fever again. You will get over 300 talking about nothing. Why? My presentation lessons, the moral dilemmas, the movies, I spend Monday to Friday all week preparing these lessons. And then maybe 30, 40 people come, which is fine, you know. Again, usually the serious language learners will come and really study, and if I'm helping, especially, what was it? I love all my students, of course, it's like my children, but I really especially like helping serious learners who really want to like level up their English, because I feel the same way about my Japanese, right? So it makes me feel good when I see people working so hard, and it actually makes me think, Eric, you need to study more Japanese, you need to stop playing video games, and recently a new game called Monster Hunter came out yesterday. Anyway, you don't need to know that. But yeah. So, knackered. Margot, that means a British version of exhausted, very tired. Okay. You can switch to programming and teach in your free time, but then, like, if I start doing half, then it means the quality, or I will have less time to make these materials, right? Like, for example, this, sorry, I'm speaking too quickly. For example, this trivia quiz that I made at the beginning of the lesson, sorry, earlier, this is just, I don't know, 40, oops, wrong one. Wrong button. Sorry. See, I was talking about panicking earlier with technical problems. I want to make more quizzes, and I want to make more things that will be useful to you guys. And if I do programming, like, yeah, I might get more money, but I have to sacrifice a lot of my English teaching and preparing time, which I do not want to do. So yeah. Anyway, what was it? Maybe is teaching English. You have a nice personality, open-minded and positive. Thank you. I like to think I'm open-minded, but I also worry a lot about becoming arrogant and too confident, which is why actually maybe it's just an excuse, but I'm kind of happy that YouTube was a bit of a failure, like my videos are not so good, because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me from becoming too arrogant, because to me, being confident is good, but being arrogant, No good. It's not useful for anyone. But anyway, nice to see you thinking in life. Watching you with a running nose, I can feel what you're going through. Yeah, see? You can hear me. It's gross. I'm sorry, but my microphone is quite good, so you can hear me going... So having a good microphone can be a double-edged sword. There are good things and bad things. Double-edged sword. Okay? Anyway. Sorry. That was gross. When I was teaching children in the language school, children do not hold back. They do not care. Very young children and very old people, especially old men, I feel, just do not care. They will... I think when I was in Japan, I went to this like hot spring place, and it's a public bath, so the changing rooms, you know, everybody's naked. Men just... okay, men and women are in separate baths, okay? Not together. But like, it's a changing room, everybody's naked, and a lot of these old men, they will, if they have a cough or something, they will be like, they just don't care. And I'm like, when they do that, they go, I'm like, and it's just gross. But no, actually, Japanese people generally are very polite and good at, you know, thinking about other people, because they wear masks, very polite culture and things like that. Maybe it's the UK that I'm thinking about. By the way, men are so dirty, now that I think about it. I've never been in a woman's bathroom, you know, the restroom, of course, but when I go into the men's restroom and I see these people who come in and they go out, but they don't wash their hands. Okay? So then, think about this. You're in the toilet, you see someone come in, they do their business, they, you know, go number 1 or number 2. If you don't know what number 1 or number 2 means, I should write this. Okay, I'm gonna write this. I don't want to say it because it's a bit gross, but anyway. So a number 1 means pee. In other words, urine. Pee is the action, to go pee. You know, young children might say this. Oh, Mum, I need to go pee. And number 2 means... Any answers? Anybody want to write in the chat? Yeah, this word? Anybody? No? Oh, okay. Poo. Or... What is it? Feces? No, that's animal poo. Yeah, we would just say go poo. Children will often say, I need to go. Oops. Mum, I need to go poo. Or I need to go pee. But an adult, a very polite way of saying this is, well, first of all, just, I need to go to the toilet. We don't need to know if it's a number 1 or a number 2. I don't care. Don't tell me. But if you want to tell somebody what type, you might say, for example, let's say you're watching a movie with friends, casual friends, and you say, oh, I need to go to the toilet. And they pause the video and they say, oh, okay, we'll wait for you. And you might say, don't worry, it's a number 2. It's going to take a long time. So you say, it's a number 2. Okay, that's the only situation I can think of where you need to tell somebody if it's a number 1. You don't even need to, right? You can just say... Why am I talking about poo in my live stream? This is the problem when you talk. Like, if I were talking to you guys right now, like face to face, I would not be so weird. But maybe this is a good thing. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so that was what I was saying. Men are gross. Many men are gross. They will go to the toilet, do their business, number one or number two, and then they will go out without washing their hands. And then I think, if there's a door handle, I don't want to touch that, right? Even before Corona, I was a germaphobe, kind of. Germaphobe meaning germs, meaning bacteria, right? Sorry. So germaphobe, if we think about the word phobia, remember, fears. Oops. Germaphobe means somebody who is scared of germs. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a severe phobia, you know, of germs. It's not like, ooh, I know there's bacteria here, I will never touch it. It's more like, ugh, that's gross. And like maybe more than the average person, okay? So what I do, okay, I always, if the door handle is long, right, most people will grab it in the middle. I will always, using my fingertips, I will touch the top and I will pull the handle from the top. Yeah. Sometimes I use my feet if the restroom or the public toilet is really gross, then the handle is probably quite gross. So I think I might use my feet. Or the best option, if your timing is good, you wait for somebody else to open the door to leave, and then you quickly follow them. And you slip through. Then you don't have to like touch the door handle because they've opened it. But you've got to have good timing. One time my friend asked me, why do you open the door handle like that? And I was like, ugh, long story. Okay, so then I tell this story. But yeah. Okay, one last thing before I read the comments again. I apologize. I was just talking about this earlier, but after Corona, I've developed a habit. If you work in the customer service industry, that is restaurants, or basically anytime you have to touch physical money, you might know that coins are some of the dirtiest objects in the world. Yeah, it's kind of similar. People say that your smartphone is dirtier than a toilet seat. Coins are the same. I would say coins are probably dirtier than your smartphone. So basically, the dirtiest, coins, smartphone, toilet seat, I think. And that's why you see some coins of like dark colors and it's just gross. But after Corona, I think like the tables, coins and everything's like dirty. So because I'm a germaphobe a little bit, I say a little bit, maybe a lot, when I put my hands on the table, usually palm down. Okay, so you can see here, if I just do this, I would do this, right? But instead, I've started to do this unconsciously, yeah? Because that way, if I touch my face, like on my nose, scratch my face and things like that, you usually use the tips of your fingers, right? But if my fingertips and my hand and everything has been touching the, I don't know, the toilet door handles and all of this stuff, then that means my face is indirectly touching like the dirty toilets and who knows what. It could be anything, right? I know I'm not gonna die, but to me it's gross. So actually, I'm quite a big germaphobe now that I think about it. But the funny thing was, when I was working in the English school, one of the young children noticed that I was standing and my hands were on the table like this. what do you look like when you do this? You look like a gorilla. So then, my student pointed at me and said, Eric, he's a gorilla. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And then all the other kids were like, oh, he's a gorilla, hey, gorilla. And they started pointing and laughing at me. And I was like, why do I feel like I'm back in school being bullied by these 4-year-old children? And then I realized, I was like, oh, true. I do look like a gorilla. And it became a very funny memory for me. Maybe that was very boring, but... Does anyone else have any weird habits? I feel like you guys are learning a lot about me, but I still don't know anything about you. Anyway. So, let's go back to the comments. Hey everyone. What are tips to improve and listen quickly? There's no best way, unfortunately, just lots of listening practice. Pick something you like, dramas, news, live streams. You're practicing your listening right now. But pick something you enjoy. That's important. Okay. And then after one can of beer, Margot gets more chatty. I think most people get more chatty, right? That's why they say if you want a bit of like fake confidence, you should drink a little bit of alcohol. But yeah, I think many people are similar to you, Margot. Fatima says, I haven't drank wine in my life, so I don't know. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I guess maybe for religious reasons, or maybe you just don't like wine. I'm actually not a fan of alcohol. Not because of the side effect, but because of the taste. Beer, wine, like, I hate, sorry, gross noises. But yeah, I don't like the taste of alcohol. Ugh. Anyway, yes, I wonder why I'm watching you talking now, 12:30 a.m. because I like the way you do the expressions, the lesson, sorry, which is useful. And oh, I'm glad to hear that, Eddie. Thank you. 65. We got 60. Oh, too many guys, I have to stop soon. Thank you for watching, even though it's so late. Same here. Language to know about each other and express opinions. Exactly. Margot says, really? But because I'm so slow, I can't remember what she was talking about. August, pee and poop, yeah? Okay, those are the two most important words for today. Yeah, pee and poop. Okay? I don't care if you don't remember anything else, but pee and poop. Super important, yeah? The next time you tell your friends about me, you might say, he's a great English teacher. And they ask you, what vocabulary? What did he teach you about? Pee and poop. And they're like, huh? Anyway. Pee and poop. Or pee and poo. Maybe some people... Why are you on the TV? Ah, good question. It looks like a TV. It's a software. It's a program. The problem with HelloTalk is that I can't switch screens so quickly. You have to click a button and then choose the window. It's horrible. Yeah. But because I have this special device, it's called a Stream Deck, I can press the button. So when I press this button, bam! Huh? Oh. So you can change the screen, okay? But that's why it looks like I'm on a TV, because I'm using a special software. Fatima, what on earth? That's a good phrase. What on earth? What the heck? They don't wash their hands? Some people. Again, usually older men. I don't want to discriminate. I'm a man. But a lot of guys don't wash their hands. But again, I can't compare because I've never been to a woman's bathroom and I've never watched women go in and out of a bathroom. If I did, I would be arrested. Very good, August. Go number 1 to pee. Go number 2 to poop. Exactly. Yeah, this will be on the quiz, okay? This will be on the exam, so make sure you remember pee, poop. Okay. Why would you want to tell somebody that you have a number 1 or number 2? Normally you don't, but hey, maybe it's important. Like, don't wait for me. I'm going to go number 2, so you don't have to wait. I don't know. What's the topic? Pee and poop. Thank you very much, guys. That's all for today. Goodbye. Oh my gosh. This is not a phobia. This is being hygienic. Yeah, true. And then, let's see. Teacher gorilla. I'm not a gorilla. Stop bullying me. Tonight, I will have nightmares about children bullying me and saying, oh, gorilla, gorilla. Hey. But anyway, you hacked the live. Yeah, I'm a super hacker. I wish I can't wait. Do I wish I could hack? No, I don't want to break the law. I'm a good boy. Oh, I finally reached the end of the comments. Everybody, round of applause. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Okay. Sorry. Right. I really do have to finish. Guys, it's like 1, 2 a.m. in the morning in Japan and China. Go to sleep, please. I'm just talking about rubbish. Like, your beauty sleep. Get your rest. It's important. Tomorrow is Sunday, so you gotta... I don't know. What do you guys normally do on Sunday? I usually... video games? Sometimes. When I'm hardworking, I study Japanese. But these days, I can't stop thinking about work and live streams, especially like today. When I found that quiz game website, Word Wall, like I was thinking about so many different ways of reviewing vocabulary with you guys and just like thinking of different ways to teach using music, pictures, questions, quiz games. It's just really exciting. Oh, my nose is again. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm just looking at my screen and there's just one big word. Poo. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I think there's 180 people here. Guys, do you want to ask anything? I've talked about pee, I've talked about poop, I've talked about dirty toilets, I've talked about being a gorilla. I have no more stories to tell. Like, I'm done. My brain is gone. So, oh, the comments suddenly. Anyway, what's your sign? Taurus, I think. That double-edged sword worked very well. Oh, Fatima, don't tell me. You heard me. Oh. You have a great sense of humor. Do I? I don't know if I'm funny. I mean, people tell me that I have an interesting, like, facial expression. Like, you know, some people who can, like, control their eyebrows. Some people can, like, I can do that, but I can't do it the other way. Wait. No, I can't do it. I've recorded this for YouTube as well, so I'm really worried that... Oh, who cares? But anyway, where are you? I'm from the UK. Do you want my address? I live on 26 Fardrow Lane. Come to my house. I'm joking. I don't live there, of course. What about the hack? What about the hack? Vivian, please do get lots of beauty sleep. Have a good rest. I'm going to go very soon, so you won't miss much, okay? But yeah, I think we have 180 people here. Unfortunately, for you people who joined just recently, this is probably the end of the live stream today. It's been 3.5 hours. But yeah, it's been so fun today. Thank you so much for joining. I've talked a lot about myself. I didn't plan to, but that's live streaming. Thank you so much for joining. And what was it? Sorry, my brain. 1 second. I would love to talk to all of you guys, you know, one-on-one. So if you are interested, you can find my English teaching website. You can book a lesson with me. But I'm going to continue doing live streams. We're going to do more review games. I have a lot of exciting ideas that I want to share with you guys. So please follow if you're interested. I'll do my best to meet your expectations. I'm getting a lot of really kind comments right now, and I really appreciate it. But a part of me worries that I can't meet your expectations. But I'll do my best. And for now, just, yeah. It's, I'm surprised people are still watching. But, yeah. What was it? Total number of viewers or visitors? 180 people watching right now. I don't know how many people have come and gone, but yeah. Yeah. So if you want to get updates on my next live stream, probably next Saturday or maybe Friday. Next week is video games, and next week, interestingly, because it's video games, I'm thinking of doing a video game stream where I'm going to play a video game. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'm going to choose a game where you can get a lot of language. I'm thinking about those simulation games where it's like an everyday situation, something funny might happen, but again, there will be lots of language, and you know, maybe in these games, I will pause the game to explain, you know, what is this object? What is this thing? It's not just, hey, I'm going to play a game, come watch me, I will not talk. It's not that kind of thing. The focus, again, will be using video games to teach English. Okay, because next week, maybe Friday will be the presentation, the English lesson about video games, and then on Saturday I will maybe play a video game live. I will talk to you guys, you can have questions, and hopefully we'll do something fun. And I want to find a game I can play with you guys, so give me some time to do some research. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan for next week. Follow me if you want the updates, and other than that, I'm going to go get some lunch at 4 p.m. I'm very hungry. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay.